Come join us. We are live right now. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Iron Age Nights. How is everybody down in the chat doing? We have a lot of people here already. That is so fantastic. I am under the gun right now trying to get everything ready. We have so many fantastical things happening in the world of where we are. So thank you all so much. Iron Age Media is making coffee right now. He will be back in a minute. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Oh, there he is. Oh, there he is. Oh, he's back. He's back.
He returns with a press.
He returns. He returns. Good sir.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good.
So, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who don't know, my name is Royce, and welcome back to A Drink with Crazy. Hopefully, all of you are having a fantastic time, and thank you so much for everybody who is new out there. Gentlemen, before I do your introductions, like the narcissist I am, I need to go and say hello to the chat. So let's say hello to the chat really quickly. We have a Rangmar Virillion. He is down there. He is having a good time. Hopes that we have a good time. He's also Black Knight. You can find him on Amazon. He is an Iron Age creator. Tim Allen is down there as well. He is telling me that I need to have mead, and I'm trying to do the mead thing. And oh no. Frequency Studios is dropping super chats. Christopher Colebrook, what's going on, man? How are you? Trippy Soul is down in the chat. Raul Nyanzi, he's also down there. Jolly Roger is down there. Asher Burnett is down there as well. My doggo is in the background barking because she is a loud doggo. River 85, how are you doing? You are. Oh, thank you. And my wife, my lovely, amazing wife, is bringing me dinner. So. You're and sorry about that, guys. Internet Hydra, how are you doing? Let's see, Jolly Roger. Will 2DC, how are you doing? Good, sir. He's been looking forward to this. Well, thank you so much. I've also been looking forward to this. Monty Herm here as well. Oh my goodness, Lord, there's too many people. It's so crazy. Calvin Gulata is down there as well. I can't read. Frequency Studios with a super chat of 5420. Good sir, already gotta keep them going. Iron Age Nights number 3. Absolutely, I'm very excited for this evening. Toxic Crusader is down there. Hello Ram, hello Patrick, Vivalo, Jonathan Hidalgo. Oh my god. Wow, Sophia is down in the chat. Did I say hi to Galvin? I think I said hi to Calvin already. Anthony Rondinelli, how are you doing? And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Iron Age Nights. Yeah. Iron Age Media, how are you doing? Good, sir.
Very good. I am just tweeting out the link for everybody.
He's on the phone.
So, we got Mr. Asher down there as well.
I'm getting set up.
Yeah.
There we go. This is a more interesting background than last time. I remember we heckled you before.
Yes.
I was gonna say, I think actually, if we're, picking backgrounds, I think I'd go with Rob to take the prize tonight. He's
The impressive collection.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, that's just part of it. I kind of moved all the important shit in. So
Yeah.
Awesome. Richard, how have you been doing?
I've been doing well. I recently just started. Actually, today put out the first YouTube video of my own covering the articles that have come out over the past week on Iron Age Media, and also the prompts as well as the short story, which was our popular winner from September, which is or the Spica Foundation from Mr. Asher, wherever he has disappeared to, but will be joining us shortly, I believe. There he is.
Hey.
Congratulations, sir. So that wraps it up. Oh man, he's gone again. This is.
I don't know why people think phones are the way to do this. Like, phones are not
Technical
the way
difficulties.
to do this.
no, I spent a couple days just getting all my shit straight, so I wouldn't do it over a phone.
Sir, if you blip out again, I'm going to wait until you get to a computer.
Oh,
Yeah, there he is.
I think he's doing it on purpose now.
I think he is now, yeah. So, how has your last week been, Richard? What's been going? Just crazy.
I just say move on to the next one. I already went.
I was busy watching Brian Ash. He's trolling us. Mr. Daniel P. Riley, how are you doing, good sir?
Good evening. I'm doing well. Same old with writing every day. Have to give a quick shout out to Richard and Iron Age Media because I see my little book back there on his shelf. So I appreciate it. Right next to what appears to be Dan the Destructor.
Yes, I'll be
Yes.
honest, I have not. So I don't know if you have your book to feature here, sir, but I will. Shamefully, I'm only about a third of the way through. Well, about half of the way through. So we're. I'm still working on it. But.
And for those in the chat and watching on the stream, tonight I have a little promo for my most recent novel, Legacy of Heroes, the ebook plus bonus content and a little bit of extra art from the artist who did the cover. The short story called Legacy of Heroes 1 is available on my Gumroad, which should be linked somewhere in this mishmash mess that we call an awesome stream. And the promo code is Iron Age. $1.99.
Any spaces or all one word?
All one word. Promo codes are all one word. $1.99 for the stream.
Nice. And I believe we also had another one of the friends of the IronAge.media, TJ Marquis. He also has Bloodbane out now, and he wanted to give that a shout out. I'm not sure if
I was going to find a way to organically toss it in, but I'll we're
just chilling. We
guys,
can
anything that you guys want to share, hit it over in the private chat, and I will drop it in the actual chat. And before we go to Rob over here, Kikomon gifted 5 a drink with crazy memberships. Kikomon, thank you so much. And the reason that I shout that out is because StreamYards is dominant, won't let me pull it up. So Kikomon, thank you so much for the $5 over there. Appreciate it. All right, sir, I'm going to add you back in, but if you go away again, I'm literally not going to add you back in.
That's fair. All right.
Yeah.
Dropping the hammer already.
All right.
I was trying to get the earbuds to work. So.
All right, sir.
Yeah.
So, come in. How are you doing? How have you been?
I'm doing good. I'm excited to be allowed back on the stream despite some major technical difficulties. But I had to give Rob a shout out because he gives all of us more shout outs than we could ever repay. So thanks, Rob.
Every single
no
week.
problem, man. No problem.
Mm-hmm.
Someone's got to do it.
And now to our honored guest, Rob Rhymes or Talking Pulp Press or the man, the myth, the legend of Barbarians of the Storm. Sir, how are you doing?
I'm pretty good, man. I'm pretty good. It's nice to see. Well, I mean, I've seen all you guys. I don't know if you've seen me other than my profile picture on Twitter. So it's kind of cool to be face to face to face to face to face. I think that's all the faces.
Many faces.
Yeah, no, I'm good, man. Things are going pretty well, and Steam's starting to pick up, and fucking hard work pays off. I mean,
Well,
just
you
grind away every fucking day.
I was gonna say you got knocked sideways by Ian, didn't you? Or at least some family members.
Oh, you mean the hurricane? Me personally, not really. Like, I didn't have power for 8 days. I mean, it's a lot of the pretty close to me. It's like the worst of it. So like all the stuff you saw in the news, that's like 10 minutes away from my house. My ex-girlfriend lived there for 8 to 10 years, something like that. I lived there like half the time when we were dating. So yeah, like I know a lot of people there, and there's a lot of people there I haven't heard from. It's just one of those things where I still don't know with some people, and they're not people that I'm so close to that I talk to them on a regular basis or have a lot of their numbers. They're just people because you see around when you're in that area. So, and you can't really go. I mean, I guess you can go there now, but you have to have like a reason to be there. You can't just go and hang out and shit.
Yeah.
So,
Damn.
That's wild.
That's nuts.
yeah.
So, well, thank you all so much for being here. And I'm just absolutely flabbergasted with the amount of support that is out there right now for everything that all of us are at least attempting to do.
Yeah.
And Rob, I'm really glad that you were in a place that you were finally able to join. It definitely, I'm super excited because yours was one of the first books that I really came across as far as all this Iron Age stuff is concerned. So, without any further ado, I think a couple of these gentlemen up here, unlike me, because I'm a scrub and I'm horrible, have purchased your book and checked it out. So, who wants to go first? You guys can either rock, paper, scissors, or just pick. But
I'd love to jump in just in case my phone cuts out. So
yeah, go for it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Take it away, Brian.
I was going to ask for you, Rob, like what pulp novels were the biggest influence for you in this story? Because it is a little unique having sort of the person getting transported into this world, which I thought was a really cool spin on everything.
It's funny because I hate those stories usually.
Those are the ones that always get you.
Yeah, but it was like, I don't know, it just kind of happened. The idea for what Dan the Destructor itself was is originally it was going to be a graphic novel, and I had a couple artists flake out on me, so I marinated on it for about 18 months, and there was a lot more I wanted to do with the story, and it just ended up becoming a pulp novel. And it's more or less, it's one of those things where I wasn't necessarily aware of what all the influences were that were influencing it, but then when I went back and read it, it's like I would be like, oh, that's where I pulled that from. But the idea initially came from, I was high as shit one night, and I had a friend over, and
as all good stories begin. So guys, I did way too many drugs.
But like you know how when
it was rotten.
In the late 70s or whatever, when like the spaghetti westerns died out, the Italians had to figure out what other cheap-ass movies to make in the desert for free and without permits. So they started doing Conan and Mad Max ripoffs like at the same time. And my friend, we were high. We had this like 8-hour marathon of these these Conan and Mad Max ripoffs. And I don't know if it was a high idea or if, or what, but basically I was just sitting there going, man, it'd be really cool if they would have like taken one of these studios had the came up with the idea of just taking like the two things and merging them into one thing. And that's kind of where the idea for what became Dan the Destructor, that's where it came from. It was kind of a merging of cheap Italian ripoffs of Mad Max and Conan pushed into one thing. And then a bunch of other shit gets added in there as it, evolves. So, and it was really only going to be a one-off graphic novel. It wasn't necessarily going to be an ongoing thing like it's becoming. But I like the characters and I like the stories, and the more I write, the more ideas I get. And I've got like 15 books in my head, I can only do one at a time.
Wow.
Yeah, story of my
I was going to
life.
ask how wide it was going to get. So yeah, I was going to ask how big you were planning on going. So
I don't.
$15. All right.
I have like not to. I mean, I hate the fucking MCU at this point. I think most people do. But for lack of a better term, I have an idea of what like phase 1 is going to be, I guess.
Yeah.
So that's probably going to
cool.
end. That's probably going to end with book 5, with what's in my head. But there's going to be like the anthology Eyes on All Shadows that just came out. There's going to be more stuff like that. There's going to be kind of like books that are just kind of side quests, I guess, from the main story.
So is the what is it? Eyes on All Shadows. That's I thought that is that a shorts collection anthology?
It's a short story anthology, and it leans. It's still sword and sorcery, but it leans a lot more into horror. So
Okay,
a lot of the lighthearted buddy comedy stuff isn't really in it. Like Dan's not in that book at all. So
okay, that was going to be my question. I thought that they were kind of like standalone short stories. Are they in the same?
They are. It's in the same universe, and
okay, that was going to be my next.
Chronologically, everything is before the book. The other 2 books.
So
I wouldn't read it. I wouldn't read
lore.
it first though, because it might spoil some things.
Yeah.
But it kind of serves as just earlier stories for some characters.
So it's a little bit like
That's always
a lore
interesting.
compendium.
What's that?
A little bit like a lore compendium.
I guess more or less, yeah. And some of it's
I'm
one of those
saying
things
that for
where-
Royce's benefit because he loves those things.
Yeah.
I absolutely do. Guys, give me a second. I have a bloodhound barking a lot. I'm assuming you can hear that.
No.
So
Yes.
I'm going to go take care of that situation. I'll be right back. I apologize. I am so behind. That's why I keep muting. I'm attempting to eat food and engage with you guys and handle dogs.
It's all good.
It's all
all good,
professional. Oh,
Tim
my
Allen
lovely
said it
wife
was
is down in the
immediately
chat.
crazy
My
now,
lovely wife
so-
is down in the chat. She is going to handle it, which
Oh, there we go.
she has been she pulled a muscle a few days ago and has
I
literally
saw
been
on Twitter.
bedridden for 2 days.
Ooh,
Oh,
Yikes.
So
no good.
no, it is no good. I am so sorry. Quick shout out. Kikomon, show me, show you. Kikomon for $2. Thank you so much, Kikomon. I appreciate that. Drake Tungsten for $4.20. My guest Miller said this was the recommended amount.
He's not wrong.
He is not. Oh, good lord. All right. No. So I guess being the scrub here who doesn't actually have the physical books in my hands, because again, I am a scrub. What we have a certain sir. Are you really joining on the phone too?
No, this is my laptop. I just got it out. Hold on, let me pick up my mic out here. Obviously, I'm outside. This is my grill. And
oh, this is great.
working on the last few minutes, guys. It's still a work in progress, but
Wow.
This is the
yeah,
approaching
working on it.
lewd.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now.
I am so
I'm
sorry,
pretty
guys.
Iron
I
Age
don't know
state
why I
with you,
invite
Mark.
the people to the stream, but I have no idea.
Hey man, John had a rough day today, though. I mean,
I had a rough day today. It's true.
I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't.
So-
I have actually
you
no
missed it.
idea what they're referencing.
You missed it.
Yeah, what happened?
Oh
Let's talk.
man, it's
What happened?
Yes.
Royce, do you want to know what happened for real? I need a drink. Hold on.
Okay,
I
yeah,
was-
do
I was-
that.
I
I'm gonna
was-
do a super chat
Drink, I
real
was gonna
quick.
say, we got Rob flexing here.
Will 2DC drops $49.99 or a $50 super chat on the bar. Tips his bartender. Walks the fuck out. Wow. Damn.
I know that guy. He's a big supporter.
Sir, I must have served you something good. A little bit spiked it was. A little bit spiked. Well, and that's
What do you-
actually part of the reason that there's a wood background behind us right now, because that's the bar top.
Nice.
So I thought that
There
the
we
wood grain bar
Yeah.
top would be.
This is entirely too clean for a bar. We need some stains and such. in the
I
background.
know.
We gotta
I
work
know.
on
I
it.
need to. I should reach out to Xavier Guzman and see if he can't do some beer stains on it and some,
I'll play with
some
some.
debauchery. Oh shit! Wait, what is that? Is that a cigar?
Yep. Got
He's
the
a cigar guy.
going.
Yeah, it's legal.
There we
Now
go.
I'm jealous.
Oh, there
Man,
we go.
I can't. Oh,
Now I'm jealous.
Follows
Love
I
me a
remember
good
being able
cigar,
to
man.
Smoke cigars inside. Back when we
Yeah,
were kids.
exactly.
Yeah, now I can't do it.
All right, so me being the scrub here, before John Delarose came in and completely threw off my stuff with his chicken, Anyway. Sorry. Okay, my mind just went really south. Anyway.
Keep it moving, Royce. Keep
So
it moving.
yeah, I'm trying. Okay, it's been a little bit of a hectic last hour. So anyway, so sir, so what has been going on with you for about the last month and a half? Because there are a lot of people that have been noticing what you're doing. So between that, obviously the hurricane, just people giving shout outs and stuff. How is that? Like, are you feeling it yet? Do you feel like it's growing beyond what you thought it would be? Where are you at with this?
So I published, just to give I guess the quick rundown, I published Dan the Destructor in January, like the first week of January. So I mean, that was like 6 months before the Iron Age thing was really, I guess, like coined by Razorfist in that video. And no one gave a shit about it, which is, it is what it is. I'm not mad or bitter about that. It's one of those things you kind of, you write a book, and I've written books before. I'll get into that later, different types of books. But you write a book and then you tell everybody about it, and everybody's like, oh man, that's great. I can't wait till it comes out. And then no one buys it. Your friends and shit, Some friends did. They're actually the ones that are they're actually in the chat tonight. But
I know that experience from being in a band. Everybody's like, yeah, dude, when's your next show? We'll totally buy tickets. We'll go.
Yeah,
they are. I don't smoke in the house.
But I don't want to smoke in the house either.
I smoke dirty stuff though. I smoke smokes like cigarettes. So,
So the thing that I
can't
think
do it
really,
in the house.
No, never in the house ever.
We got some
porn bots. Damn it!
The invasion.
Hot girls are waiting here. Really?
Wow. Can't believe it.
And there's
They
some
love to
rich
talk
guy.
the
And
Iron
there's
Age,
some
those hot
rich
girls.
guy down in Saudi. Saudi Arabia. Okay.
I have a question for Rob. Since you said you were originally trying to create Dan the Destructor as a graphic novel, did you have like everything already planned out and just had to transfer?
It was a
book?
I had like a 96 page graphic novel script. So I adapted that into the pulp novel, but then I added like a lot of scenes and fleshed a lot.
Yeah, that was what I was going to ask, because a 90-page graphic novel would probably, I think, be maybe a third of a full book.
Yeah.
So I'm very
John
intrigued
is shaking his head
with what's
at the
happening. Jay,
super chat here.
so I don't want it to deflect from our honored guest, which is Rob Rhymes.
Buy
Talking
Rob's
Book
books.
Press. Buy Rob's
Yes.
books. Buy Rob's books. But
Do it
Kikomon
now.
keeps asking, and you left us on a little bit of a cliffhanger. What the hell happened this afternoon?
That's why I needed a drink to
You
deal with
guys
this.
don't
my
want to
friends.
know, man. You don't want to know.
Wait, were you there? Did you see what happened?
Yeah,
We
I
are
saw
the
it.
Iron
Oh,
Age
you were
Knights.
watching it?
We want
I was
to know.
hugging my toilet for about 45
Oh,
minutes.
so you
after
saw
what
it.
I
You saw it too.
Yeah, I
Wait.
saw. I was.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm sorry for your loss, brother.
man.
Now really buy his books. This guy has gone through hell and back today.
Yeah.
So,
Lost my
yeah.
whole lunch, man, and it was a lot of chicken wings, man. And those things are fucking expensive now.
They are
Terrible.
expensive now. That's a waste.
Yeah.
Royce, are you familiar with Mecha Random 42?
No.
Good.
All right, that's it.
No, come on.
Why
No, I don't have my
you?
back to the lore button, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know. I feel like I have heard the name in passing. What is going on? What are you doing to my stream?
She showed up in my chat, and I thought it was somebody pretending to be her, because I have a lot of people who do that from time to time, kind of make accounts that look like it's somebody as a joke. And she starts spamming my chat with, are you going to come watch my stream? Are you going to come make fun of me? Are you going to come? Are you going to harass me? Like over and over, like that kind of stuff. And so I look at it and I find it's actually her. And I'm like, wow, she's in my chat. And so I drop the link in the chat so she can come on, and she does. And she proceeds to scream at me at the top of her lungs for about 10, 15 minutes. Top of her, like full screaming at top of her. Doesn't stop to take a breath. I was like dying.
But she was embarrassing you, John. Her words, she was embarrassing you.
That's what she said. I was laughing my ass off
So
in
funny.
reality. And then she's got she doesn't have a husband. She has a live-in simp that lives with her.
Obviously, yeah.
Yeah. And she's 40 something, he's 50 something, Yeah.
Wait, sorry.
All right, really quickly, Wrangler gets
Yeah.
you 5 a drink with crazy memberships. Thank you so much, Wrangler. I appreciate you, man. Thank
Wrangler.
you.
So wait,
Yeah,
can I come back later? Is this saved into the YouTubes for me to go for my own enjoyment later, or no?
You have to be a member of this channel.
I had to delete what happened next, but yeah, for members of the channel, I saved the live stream so you can go look at that. But I had to delete the next section. But her screaming at me, that's preserved.
I just had
for
to see.
enjoyment. Yeah. So her living simp shows up on the deal, and then Rose was in the chat, huh? You were there too. You saw it, huh, Rose? Oh no.
Yeah, yeah, my wife was telling me she was watching what you were.
The simp comes on and like he tries to talk to me and he's like, and I tell him to get his hoe under control.
Oh shit!
And she proceeds to start screaming at me again. And then she holds up her phone and it's her spread eagle naked with vagina right there. Like right to the camera.
Why?
And she's crazy. I don't know. I was like, whoa.
Sure.
And
Are you telling me that you guys have never tried to win an argument by just
No.
doing
you
a
wanna see
spread
my
eagle
balls?
full frontal?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. No? Oh, okay. I guess maybe it's just like a Texan thing or something.
It's the wildest thing that
it
I've
must be
ever
a California thing. I don't know. It's like, I'm going to win this argument. No, you're not. Here's me naked. I can't argue.
I'm embarrassing you. I'm embarrassing you. Here's my pussy.
Didn't want to see that. Yeah, that's exactly. She kept saying
Basically, that's what
embarrassing
happened.
me. Exactly.
Wow.
Oh, Lord. Wow,
Yes.
you're lucky you
And,
didn't get nuked
wow.
for that. Holy
Well, that's what she was attempting to do, right?
Oh.
That was her attempt, and then she later went on her own stream and sort of bragged about that, like hoping that I would get taken down. I didn't, thankfully, but that
She's
I was.
bragging about.
I mean, shocking.
Okay.
That's why
Yeah,
why I'm a Me Too survivor, because I was just sexually assaulted on my own.
Yeah,
that
seriously.
actually could be classified as that legally.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Wow.
Stand with you on that one.
Back to Dan the Destructor. How many naked
I was like, I
women
got a
does Dan the
question for
Destructor
Just a slight
unwantingly
detour.
see?
Yeah.
Does Dan the Destructor just run into naked women? Just be like, look at me.
There's a scene pretty early on in the book where he's in the tub with a bunch of maidens, a la Prince Akeem in Coming to America.
Nice.
I won't spoil more than that.
Oh no. So you come up with Dan the Destructor. Okay. How does it build from there? How does it go from, how does it turn into Barbarians of the Storm? That's what I want to get at. How do you go from just, I'm assuming you had a single premise. How does it get to Barbarians of the Storm and what you're planning on doing?
Dan the Destructor, I mean, it really kind of exists as a standalone story, but it ends in a way where you're like, yeah, these guys could go on more adventures. And I don't know. By the time I got done with the novel version of it, I liked the characters and the kind of the vibe and where everything was going so much that I just kept going on to do more. I had the idea for the second book started coming to me as I was fleshing out the graphic novel script into the novel. So, and then the short story book, that was all just me thinking of the characters and what their background would be, and that all just kind of became what that book became. So
it's awesome.
There you go.
Nice.
So, I saw Catherine Francis in the chat, and she wrote
Hi,
the
Catherine.
review for Dan the Destructor and described it. I think, what was it? It was like American Isekai or something to that effect.
Yeah, I didn't even know what that word was until that
okay,
review
I was
on
curious.
video.
That was going to be my question. I was like, because that whole type of anime, manga, whatever, I guess has been really popular in the past 5-10 years.
Yeah,
I guess.
I didn't write it with manga really in mind at all. So
Yeah, I wasn't sure if like that
The idea is
theme-
pretty. The idea is actually more
Well, I mean, it's
often
quite
used
old.
in novels
Yeah.
than anime, though. It's just become so.
Yeah.
There's been so many recent anime series that have used that trope that it's sort of become synonymous.
Yeah,
with
they've
it.
kind of taken it over.
Yeah, there was a.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name of the books. I believe the author's name is Dan Simmons. Wrote a series about a soldier in our world who died in battle and was taken to essentially Valhalla and was dropped in the middle of Norse mythology. It's very similar in design, and that was back in like I think the 90s.
Dan
Oh
Simmons
well,
wrote
there's
Hyperion,
one that
right?
goes down a Yankee. What is it? A Yankee in King Arthur's Court?
Well, yeah, they've been done forever.
Yeah, I was gonna
I mean-
say that's the first one I think I know of for sure.
Mhm.
I mean, the first story like that popped in my head as I was writing it was actually Beastmaster 2.
Oh my god!
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Wow!
It was in my head. I'm like, this is kind of like Beastmaster 2 in reverse.
Yeah, and here's that article
Yep.
that we were talking about a minute ago. Dan the Destructor. Fantastic article by Catherine Francis.
Mhm.
Nice.
Also, people
Rob, I
keep
have one more
complimenting me
question for you
about
before I gotta
the
run.
yeah.
I was curious on the nuts and bolts aspect. Who did I got your? I've got all your books, and I was looking through the most recent one that has all the short stories. And I love your
Mhm.
formatting for the size, the pages, everything. Was that all you, or did you hire someone to do all that formatting? Because it looks great.
No, that was all me.
Wow,
I
it
wanted
looks
something
really
pocket size to look kind of like resemble the same size and feel of the old pulp novels that I used to read
Yep.
when I was a kid. So yeah, that's pretty much all that was. Is I wanted something that was like pocketbook size.
good. Nice.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say I also really the size it was smaller than I expected, but I really like it because yeah, pocket sized book. It's kind of feasible to actually stick in a pocket and take with you.
That I didn't realize they were pocket sized. That's really
Mhm.
fucking cool. I really
It's
like
cool.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
It
really
that's-
love
feels
that
very
about the
unique.
old
It's a thing.
books. Like before
Mhm.
everything moved to trade size,
Mhm.
like especially like they fit really nicely. You know your hoodie like front pocket where you got
Mhm.
like you can get
Mhm.
both hands. You
Yeah.
can fit a book really nicely in there.
Yeah.
And I like that, especially when I'm running around or like having to deal with like going to Disneyland and standing in line with the kids. Like having that book, that pocket book is always a very nice thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, guys, if you'll give me just a minute here, I'm gonna catch
There it
up
is.
on
Zelazny
some
at
super-
that.
I'm gonna catch
Nice.
up on
Yeah,
some super chats really
Pocket-sized
quickly.
books.
There you go. For $5, Harry Stanford. Happy Friday, gents. In your opinions, what best defines what constitutes pulp? Length, genres, anti-allegorical messaging. What do you guys think best defines pulp?
I want to hear what everybody else thinks.
You're such a cheater. It's like, no, I just want to see what my friends write first. Holy shit,
Well,
come on.
the pulps by definition
Jesus.
were like magazines made out of pulp paper. And so they would fit whatever fit on the page, and they'd
Yes, sir.
kind of rush stories and compact them into as small a space as possible. So you
Mhm.
really do want shorter length either stories or novels. And they were all genres. So we usually talk about them in our circles in the context of like sci-fi, fantasy, horror, but like mystery, romance, there were
mystery,
pulps
yeah.
for all that too.
Mhm.
And
Noir,
so-
there were noir pulps too.
Yeah.
They were everywhere back in
Everything.
the day. Like everywhere.
Yeah.
So really, there were no bounds for genre. It was more an aesthetic of like quick stories that packed a big punch, and then second, prolific writing. So you really just crank out as many stories as possible. That's the pulp aesthetic.
Yeah.
The,
And here I've had 3 books since January, so there you go.
My
the
guy.
Asimov-
Nice. Living
That
it up.
could
the
be a winning
Asimov
formula
magazines
too.
Were about
Yeah.
this big
Yeah.
when they were
Mhm.
put out, and those were considered the most sci-fi pulp out there.
Give me a book that's the size of my phone. Seriously.
Right here.
Like, put it in my
If you
back
go
pocket.
in
Yeah,
the
it's
bookstore, you can
I
find
also
all the
have-
Conan books, and they're short like that.
I also have in a hardback.
Nice.
In the desert.
All right.
A friend of mine
Literally, what do you
does have
find
a
this
phone.
thing?
A friend of mine
River-
does have a phone bigger than my book, so
That's
Right.
awesome.
I can show you my big Ditko.
Oh no, sir! I'm done with you. I'm done with your shenanigans. I don't know why I sent you the link.
Then we're
I'm gonna
all
do it.
have
I'm gonna
River
show- I'm
Otter
gonna show
85
chat.
says, "Hey guys, just thought I would drop in and say thanks for the shout out and the support. We're all rooting for you guys. Keep fighting the
We're gonna do
good
it.
fight."
Chat's gonna see
Glad
my
to
big
see you,
Ditko.
River Otter.
No, I don't want chat to see anything. Oh, no, he's doing it. He's doing it. Oh.
Oh, here we go.
All right, this one I made a promise. I made a promise to Raul Nyanzi that I would do this. Once I do the solo layout here.
My
That's
big
cool.
Ditko. It is
Oh,
it's about as big as it's like my torso almost. It's
Mhm.
25 pounds, and it's the biggest Ditko
That-
out there.
dude. That's about as big as I wish I could be. Anyway,
Fantastic. Wow, look at
Impressive.
this. Look at that.
John, what do you do to my streams? Okay, and I promised that I would do this, and I intend to make good on
Yeah,
my
don't forget the
promises. Raul
announcement,
Nyanzi
boys.
down in the chat, and this is something he reached out to me a little earlier and just said, "Hey, man, would you make this happen?" He's like, "I really love to get some attention on this." He is an Iron Age creator. He has Perils of Sasha Reed, which is a fantastic story. He's gone over it with us in the Gilded, and he has this interesting story. She is you think of F1 racing, the F1 cars, and you have the pit girls, the sexy looking girls that would stand on the side and basically, draw people in before the cars started going vroom vroom. Well, she is an inventor. She happened to invent something, and a lot of people like to kidnap her. She starts the story off as a damsel in distress, but then as the story goes on, she refuses to be a damsel in distress and fights her way back to get back to her boyfriend. And her boyfriend also fights to get to her. So there's a lot of elements here of good relationships. There's a lot of elements of self-survival and things of that nature. And it just sounds like a really, really fantastic run. Not only that, he shared some pictures that he had commissioned. And I think
cool.
that she looks definitely like a girl that a lot of guys would want to put a baby in. So she's got that going for her. John, what the fuck do you do to my streams? All right, we got Calvin Gulata. The amount stands for itself. There is no message. For $69. Oh no.
It's just keep on coming.
Yeah.
What did my streams turn into? For $250.
I want to be the
Show me. Show you. Kikomon. I want to be the battleship. Wait, is that the reference that I think it is, Kikomon? Is that from Film Cal Production, The Cloak? I want to be the battleship. Oh my God, Kikomon. Good Lord.
Kikomon.
Thank you so much. That guy is...
The soy must flow.
The soy
Indeed.
must flow. Make soy alpha again. So
Wait, it was alpha before?
I mean, back in the day it was, because it literally is made like alcohol is made, and soy sauce used to have a little more punch back in the day, if I'm not
Oh,
mistaken.
really?
I think it did. Yeah, it's not actually just like this sauce. It's actually fermented. And I think back in the day it was fermented a little spice. I could be wrong on that. So if I'm completely wrong on that, let me know. But I think it had a little bit more punch back in the day than it currently does. So, all right, guys, ask questions. Go for it. I just wanted to get to some of those so that way I didn't let people think we were hanging. I will hold back some of the super chats. Try to find a good time to introduce them. So, Rob, good sir.
Yes.
What's on the horizon for what you're doing?
Well, right now I'm doing a very pain in the ass thing that's holding up book 3, which is I'm rereading the first 3 books and taking super detailed notes about everything, just so the world's starting to get really big, really fast. So it's more for myself for reference, and so I don't make continuity errors and shit like that like everybody else does, and it doesn't seem to matter anyway, but I care about that stuff.
Right.
So it's for that, but at the same time, like, I've had the idea of at some point I would like to take the information and have a sort of like Wikipedia style database of shit for people to go to that are fans of the series and whatnot. So, but other than that, then book 3, I actually had the first chapter done, but then I decided to do this. So this will be done probably within the next week, and then I'll be working on book 3, which is the 4th book, but it's book 3 in the main saga.
Yeah.
So my goal is to have it out by the end of the year, but it probably won't be till like January, as long as everything runs smoothly.
No, I'm excited to get it. I am. I have been under the gun trying to get a lot of people's. In fact, Brian Asher, I'm on chapter 19 right now.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
I have been trying to just whenever I get time, which is limited.
Yeah.
And this is still the same book that my doggo chewed up. So
That's fine. That means it's popular. That's all.
Yeah. No, he loved the way that it tasted. I have to keep it safe from him. But no, and it's I figured I'd just give you a small shout out there. But no, it one of the things that, especially I think doing what you're doing in this I guess smaller format or more condensed format, maybe they'd be the better way, I think is the way to go. Is try to come up with a way that you can release 3 or 4 things in a year, or potentially, obviously, if it becomes really successful and you can dedicate your 100% of yourself to it, you can come out with more than that. I think that that's the direction that a lot of people will gravitate to, because we tend to live in this binge culture where people are just like, oh, give me the next thing.
Yeah.
And we've been so conditioned to that, that a lot of people may not have the patience or the wantingness like they used to in the past to wait for a year or two. And I think you having the idea of coming out with 3 or 4 books a year is probably going to pay off in the future. I don't know, guys, for the writers out here, what do you think? Am I totally off base? What do you guys think?
No, it's fantastic. What happens is
think
once
he's
you
on the
get
right
to
track.
about 20-ish books, 15, 20 books, you have a back catalog that when somebody finds you around the internet or whatever, it starts to pick up, like at some points, like somebody buys something of mine every single day. And I don't always know it. It's not always directly from my live streams or Twitter or whatever. Sometimes it's just on Amazon. Somebody finds it. And that happens a lot. And what happens is, as you have more books and somebody does that purchase, about once a week, somebody will go through and buy your entire catalog. So if you have 20 books, somebody buys 20 books that day. And and it's just crazy.
Well, one thing that I've
readers
seen
out
is
there that love it. Absolutely.
One thing that I've seen, especially I'd say like the last month, 2 months maybe, is since the 3rd book came out, and then since, I don't have a lot of followers on Twitter. I got like 600, but I had like 3-4 months ago, I had like 300. So it's basically doubled in a few months. And with that, and with the fact that I just, market my shit every fucking day, it's like I've gotten now to where people are going in there and they're just buying all 3. Yep. And I think a lot of that too, though, it's not just people blindly buying all 3 because they market every day. It's because other people are reading, other people are saying things.
Yeah,
a buzz is building around it. So
and
I'm
it works
having
when you've got a series.
Yeah, and I try to keep them. The other thing too, and especially with the size and the format and the length of the books, is I can keep them relatively inexpensive compared to most other books that are out there. Because inflation's a real thing. And, times are tight for a lot of people, and like I don't want to be that guy who's trying to sell like a $30 paperback. That's just,
I found
I'm not going to buy that.
I found that to be such just a universal meme on the world, is like this Iron Age movement is taking off at what could potentially be the start of the second Great Depression. Right. Like, and it's so funny. It's like, oh my God, like everybody's getting excited for new stories and stuff. And I'm like, but then there's the money aspect of it. And then I think about, but wait a minute, Superman, other comic books.
Yeah.
When life got really down and really bad for a lot of people in the Great Depression, that's where a lot of our great stories were born from, is people went out and said, look, I may not have much money, but the money that I have, I'm willing to give to this thing that brings me some sense of entertainment and enjoyment and a little bit of escapism. And so honestly, history may not repeat, but definitely rhymes, and that's the last name of our honored guest right now.
Yeah, and I think he's
Nice.
got something with the short form, what I've recently started calling popcorn pulp, because that was something that I thought about over the last couple of months as I've gotten more reviews on G Sedai, the brightly colored mess that's behind Richard. Since I kept getting reviews that said it was really action-packed and heartfelt, and I enjoyed it, but it was just so short. I was like, well, if I could probably produce 2 a year going forward. So I'm just going to keep them in that format and put them out for a couple of bucks and just popcorn every 6 months, a new chapter, a new part of the overarching tale. And I have 4 story arcs already planned out for it. So it could go for a while. Same with Legacy of Heroes, because it's a superhero style thing. I want to do novellas that are episodes and have crossovers between different hero characters that are introduced in one book and show up in another book and weave the whole world together.
Super fun.
Mm-hmm.
So Brian, have you ever thought about doing, just in the interim of writing the larger books, have you ever thought about putting a short little 20-30 page story out there, just as kind of like a an intermission to the grand movie that you're writing? Have you ever thought about that at all?
Yeah, I think honestly the story prompts with Iron Age Media are kind of what brought that to my attention as being more of a possibility, because I was able to get that story done pretty quickly. So I'll probably do more of that, but I have to get this 3rd book done. So all my momentum's kind of on that right now. But I think in the future that'll definitely be the way I go. So
awesome.
I have a
I gotta run
question.
real quick, so I'll say bye, quick guys.
All right, later,
Brian. And as he is on his way out, ladies and gentlemen, go check out The Assassin of Malcozé. And
love the shirt, Brian.
Thank you.
And oh no, I'll shield. Let me shield. Okay.
Thanks, man.
And the treasure of Lorev in the Intercontinent universe, guys. I'm having a fantastic time with these books. Go check them out on Amazon. Brian, thank you so much for being here, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks. And thanks for everything you're doing. I bought all your books, and so get Rob's books. They're good stuff.
Thanks, man.
Let's go.
You guys.
Brian's books are great too. So
just buy all.
Yeah, but he's not featured tonight, so we don't have to be.
He's not. No, he wasn't the honored guest. He was a guest. We have the dirty guest down over here drinking whiskey. He's there.
Having a
I'm
great
drinking
cognac,
whiskey,
actually.
too.
I'm
nice.
Oh, good lord.
Cognac.
Oh, it must have been a natty Giny that you said. Anyway.
Oh, it was pretty bad.
Don't go there.
I'm sorry. I am so glad, because I thought about it for a minute. I was like, oh, maybe I'll jump in on it. And then I am so glad. I'm
Mike
glad I
S.
didn't.
Miller had to see this.
Oh
Virgin eyes.
no.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Poor guy.
all right. For $20, JVP Music, the Prez and Vice Prez of the Manosphere on the show. What are we at war?
We're at war with low T beta bitches. Yeah.
I just want men to settle down with good women and make babies again, and stay with the people that I just want people who make babies with each other to stay with each other and then continue to make more babies.
Yes.
And is that too much to ask?
Can we have a little sanity?
I am probably throwing, I don't know. That's just where I'm at.
No, I was going to ask before we get too far astray from the questions about shorter works and more frequent stuff. One of the things I'm curious about now, I'm not an author, but one of the things I've kind of learned in the past couple of years with some of my various projects is that just doing things and completing projects all the way through, whether it be some prior projects or like Iron Age Media or whatever, do you feel that iteration is something that changes the direction of your books? If you had originally, Rob, you said that you'd written some stuff previously. if it was like longer format, do you feel like because you were putting out smaller pieces of Dan the Destructor that maybe that changed your trajectory from what it would have been otherwise if it had been one large story, for example?
I didn't want to do a large story.
Mhm.
The other books that I've actually published were nonfiction. So
Okay.
I wrote a bunch of books about politics and economics, and nearly had a mental breakdown about that shit.
Yeah.
So I just
Dude,
stopped
this-
caring. I just stopped caring about it because there wasn't much I could do.
Dude,
So-
this
Yeah.
channel started as a political channel. And I
Mhm.
deleted all those videos. They probably got
Yeah.
archived somewhere. But like when you deep dive into that stuff, it mentally wrecks you.
Well,
And-
I wrote a book that was about I followed the 2012 election,
Oh,
and the whole thing was I had a blog at the time, and the whole thing was I needed to write at least 1,000 words every day about something related to the election, and
Oof.
it turned out to a big ass beefy book. But after that, I was like, man, I'm done with this stuff. And I also learned, I learned a lesson too at that time too, that you're either preaching to the choir or you're preaching to people that are never going to change. So that's not to say that I didn't affect a few people. I know that I did because they reached out to me.
But you can grow massive audiences with that because people tune into politics, and if that's what you're doing, that transcends. Like, there's people like we're in a niche subset kind of, but like that will escalate you as long as you don't get banned.
Mhm.
But,
Yeah.
Well, I think well,
And you have a strong
John and
enough
I,
stance.
John and I, we well, and John more so than I, we definitely dip our toes in. And when people get me onto politics on my streams, I don't generally shy. Like if I'm on a solo stream and not with all of you guys here, and somebody says something, I'll just go off. I don't care. But no,
Yeah, I
I
don't care
think
either.
no. On a stream like this, where I have an honored guest, a dirty guest, and then my two awesome co-hosts.
dirty guest. Wow.
I've been called worse.
It's my fault. I started with the abuse before the stream even began, so he's just
I know.
rude.
I know. He was going at me on Twitter like, "Hey, dude, you're a drunk. Did you know that?" I'm like, "No, guys, I'm not a drunk. I'm an alcoholic. There's a difference." Okay.
I have an empty
stand being
glass.
drunk.
That's the worst part now. And now the alcohol is downstairs.
Oh no.
Mm.
Sean, what do you do to my stream?
Speaking of
So-
alcohol,
so
I'm going to
last-
switch from coffee to beer, so I'm going to step away for just a second.
Yes.
Make
Good
sure
move.
to stop the camera and mute the mic like a
That was
professional.
the last of my
Like a what? I don't think I
Like a
know that word. Sorry.
Professional. Yeah, I don't know that word either, dude.
What word? What?
Professional.
I need to be cool like Rob and like stream with a bookcase behind me, though. I mean, that's smarter than like a white wall.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
At least I have a blue wall with
Why I
some, like,
chose
good-
my
like,
fireplace.
some stuff.
Fireplace
on
is
it.
classy. Yeah.
Yeah, I
fireplace
want
is
to build an
classy.
actual proper studio. Right now, I'm just in my living room. So
I am at
how
the
the fuck
bottom
is-
of my stairs in like the cutout that would just allow you to like carry the couch down and like manipulate the corner. That's literally where I'm at. Like my stairs are 2 feet that way.
Is it closed off or you're just like out in the open?
No, well, it's kind of in this little corner area without manipulating my camera and doing a whole bunch of stuff. I basically come down the stairs and then there's this kind of cutout to like turn furniture around, and then the downstairs living room is right over here. So
Okay.
we've got a big wraparound couch and a little movie area set up for the kids and whatnot. So
I don't want to sound all first world problems, but when I bought this house, I was like, I love it, but I don't know what to do with a front room.
honestly,
that's
and that's
why
a problem of our time, is that's the big problem of our time is actually like the way that they built houses back in the day. You actually had a formal like dining room, and
Mhm.
most of us just use our kitchens as our dining rooms now. And
I
so,
fixed these problems in my house. So I have the formal living room, the formal dining room. What I did with the formal living room is I put a grand piano in it, and then playing music there works. And then in the formal dining room, I got a dining room table, and then it's got layers to it. So you can actually take off the top, and it's got a inset card table, like it's like a casino. So you got like this felt on the inside, so you can play games in there. And I've actually got a drawer that pops out and actually has like a whole stand and everything for your GM thing on the side of things if you want to
Oh,
D&D
that's
it.
fancy.
So that's what I did with my dining room. So it's like a formal dining room, but I play my games in there. It's very, and then I hide
There
it
you go.
when normal people come over, completely hidden, and it looks like I'm just a normal person. It's amazing.
So you're a liar. That's what you're telling me.
Yeah, I just turned this into my little office space.
There
So
you go.
Well, I got a lot of merch I'm working on, Daniel, so you can fill it with that.
there you
All right,
go.
there you go. All right. Brian Asher for $9.99
Right now-
says follow-up question.
I don't know
So-
if you can see, but those are all crossing cockade magazines from
Okay.
World War II that
Oh,
Sick.
I've been collating and preparing to sell. And
There you
of
go.
course, C-3PO.
oh, there you go. Oh, that's cool. I never noticed that before. That's
Oh,
cool.
It's the old Star Wars action figure case.
Oh, oh, wow.
I still have the Vader one somewhere.
Nice.
I had a Millennium Falcon one when I was a kid. Like I think I found it in a thrift store when I was a kid. So I know that thing had to be at least 20 or 30 years old.
really, really
all right.
stupid.
So from
short
Brian
story
Asher,
after
follow-up
the
question.
super chat.
Yeah, sorry.
What?
Will you eventually make the graphic novels you planned or do new stories in graphic novel form?
That's a good question.
I want to do the graphic novel version of Dan the Destructor like I intended originally. Right now, I'm just focusing on the novels and trying to kind of build up like my platforms. Like I'm going to be starting to do some stuff on YouTube in the very near future, and
Nice.
just continue to try to build up through Twitter.
Awesome.
But ultimately, I think originally I was going to do it, and I was just going to pay out of pocket for an artist and just kind of put it out myself. But I think as I hopefully build up my platform big enough, that I'll probably end up just doing like a crowdfunder. But I need to find a good artist that I like that's not going to flake out on me, because that happened to me twice trying to do it the first time. So I also had a cartographer flake out on me, which is why my books don't have maps yet. So
It's bad when a cartographer flakes on you.
yeah, man.
Maps are not that easy to do. People don't realize I think there is like an online like kind of map generator you can make yourself now.
Yeah, there's a
That's pretty
few.
decent.
I'm
There's a
not
couple.
super
I'm-
keen on them though. I've tried to use
I'm
them.
not good at art. So
You know what's so bad is Nick Ricada ruined the word map for me. Now all I hear is
Oh,
every time I
no.
hear
Oh, no.
map,
I know.
you know what I mean? It's just like, oh, maps, and you're just like, oh, hey, they go on walls.
Yeah, they go on walls.
Oh, God, so I am.
Be careful how you say that, or you'll lose your Twitter account.
Oh my God, I know, right? That was, yeah, that's.
I
was-
had the
that's-
eyebrow up. I'm like, how far are you going to push it there? Roy?
About that far. About that far. Not really going to go much further than
These
that.
are the metrics for public decency on this show.
Oh my God! Why do I invite John Delarose on the stream? Like, we have had such a class act stream.
Because I make it fun, Royce. Because I make it fun. Play the song. I'm considering going down to my piano and actually attempting the song live. That might be a way to do it. Oh, there it is. $250 well spent, sir.
He's spent more than that tonight. This is...
There's no sound.
Dude, it just gets funnier the more that you watch it. It's so great.
Poor Kikomon gets no sound for his $250.
Wait, does it not have sound?
No.
No.
Boomer did.
Why? Oh, is that because? Oh, God bless it. That's right, because StreamYard doesn't auto present with sound.
No.
Ooh.
Oh my God, I genuinely despise that.
Royce has failed you, Kikoman.
I have. All right. Do we have sound now?
Nope.
Nope.
I clicked the button though. Why doesn't it have sound? Well, you had the. What was it? No, it was Shad
It's
had
a-
the same problem.
A drink with Boomer is what we got going on here.
No, I'm literally clicking share the sound from my. All right. So apparently I'm just going to have to go with my entire screen tab to share the system audio. So we'll see how that works. Is it there?
Yes.
It's
Okay.
there, but it's choppy. It's good.
I can hear it, but yeah, I hate StreamYard sometimes. It's such a good platform, and it's such a terrible platform at the same time.
That's right.
Kikomon, show you gifted another 5 memberships. Thank you so much, Kikomon. This is
I think the terrified food is my favorite part.
the terrified. It's so great. Oh man, John, you're double dipping.
What?
You're on stream and now you're in the chat.
Yeah.
Full invasion.
Double dipping chip, mother.
Well,
It just gets better every time you watch it.
don't try this at home, kids.
What a Chad.
I'm making this.
What
my
I love
ringtone.
is this is like some old school, like just something that like that like the Japanese kids all watched when they were kids. It's so great.
Beautiful.
Oh God.
I was say we're gonna devolve into a. We'll have to have like a special, just Japanese commercials stream one of these days.
Eventually,
'Cause
yeah,
there's
we'll
too
have.
many
Oh,
good
it's
ones.
99. Oh.
And with that, my friends, I'm going to have to go get my chicken off the grill and feed my children. So
I love how you came in, ruined my stream, and now you're
Yeah,
bouncing. Thanks,
that's
John.
what I do.
Appreciate it.
my whole
Taking
job.
Thank you.
chicken
Yeah.
with his kids. Give the man some credit.
Everybody go pick up Dan the Destructor tonight. Do it right now. Don't forget. Don't wait. It's worth your time. Cheers. man.
Yes, pick up the other two as well.
Good to see you,
Cheers,
John.
Cheers, good sir. Gentlemen, I apologize. He is, in fact, the president-elect of the Manosphere, and I am his vice president-elect, so I
Correct.
do have to bring him in for campaign promises that we have worked out.
My friends once elected me Secretary of State, so
Oh, I would
thing
love
we-
to be that secretary.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say I think I could work with that.
I could work with that. That's how I wanted to. I want to have enough time to just go out to my grill and grill some steaks, and that just does not seem to be a thing lately. Oh man! So
We must find you
the-
some time.
yes, I need. I just if I could just not sleep ever again. That is the biggest problem in my life. Is I sleep like 6 hours a day, and I'm like, man, if I could just not do that, that would be fantastic.
If
I
you
would
could just not do that, you die.
Well, if I could not have the negative ramifications for not sleeping, I could have all of that time back and actually get something done. Oh God.
I was gonna say, Rob, I saw the bottle, but I didn't get to read the label. Have you told us what you're drinking tonight?
Eagle Rare.
Ah,
Ooh, wait, hold on.
There we go.
Ooh,
Very nice.
The good shit.
the good
Mm.
shit.
You got any
Yeah.
ice in the mug, or are you just drinking it straight?
No, straight, man.
Dude.
Good
Room
man.
temperature.
And because Iron Age Media knows a drink with crazy much better than a drink with crazy does, what is everybody drinking this evening?
What do we got there?
Wait. Oh no, wait. Is this the first stream you're doing? Oh, good
Oh.
sir. Oh, well, sir, we got him to the third date, so now he's bringing out the hard stuff.
Hey,
All right. What do you
Figured
got?
I should finish it off.
Yeah.
I'm still working
Oh,
through
you're
Murphy's
doing
here.
Murphy. Yeah,
So-
Murphy's is so good though.
Yeah, I like it a lot. It's very tasty.
No, and then yeah, I guess I will show mine as well. And chat, you're over there too. I'm just I'm doing a blue moon, but I'm doing the mango wheat blue moon because well, it's actually really good. I like it.
At least
I
it's
like
not
it
the
a lot.
Bud Light again, man.
I told my wife, I was like, babe, I keep getting shit for drinking Bud Light on stream, so you're gonna have to buy something else. And my wife is like, all right, fine. He goes, you tell people start sending $100 super chats, I'll stop buying you Bud Light. It's like, baby, go.
Well, Kiko Man.
Well, you're good for like 3 weeks now.
right?
So.
Yeah, I know. The crap part is YouTube still won't give me the money because they keep adding this other hurdle.
Always.
It's like, so I do all the things that they tell me to do, and they're like, oh, hey, by the way, did you know that our processing is actually... I'm like, are you fucking... And they're like, we'll send you instructions when it's... I'm like, you're kidding me. Yeah, YouTube is it's I'm
It's
new.
YouTube.
I'm new. Yeah, it's weird because everybody's like, hey, well, like, we keep sending you super chats. Why aren't you buying books and stuff? And I'm like, well, so you see what happened was I don't.
Bryce is a millionaire, but he can't access it.
That would be. But wouldn't that be the problem to have, right? It's like, no, I have money. And yeah, but why are you broke all the time? Okay, so here's the thing: is like I have the money, like it's in my name. Like the money, it's like when you buy a house, right? The house is in your name, right? But you don't really own the house.
Yeah, I figured so I only keep.
No, Catherine Francis. What misinformation did I do?
Ooh,
absolutely not, good lady.
I think it's more of a generic wrong think, so you're not allowed to, partake of the financial system.
Kikumon drink Jim Beam already. Yeah, Kikumon's been drinking Jim Beam for a while tonight. Oh god.
Rye whiskey, I cry.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, so gentlemen, what other topics would you like to talk about tonight? Do we want to keep going on Dan the Destructor? Rob, you got something else you want to talk about? What's going on?
As long as it's not Rings of Power or She-Hulk, I don't.
Oh my god! No.
I am. What the show is about. Thank you.
No, this show is about.
I had to nope out on some of the channels I've been subbed to a long time just to get through that whole phase.
Yeah. Oh, she was saying. Okay, that's what she was saying. That's why. Okay, it was a joke. Okay, Catherine. Oh. My wife.
So I was curious, Rob, where could one get a Talking Pulp Press mug if somebody was interested?
Yes, merch.
All the merch I have right now is on TeePublic. For some reason, if you search Talking Pulp Press, shit just doesn't come up. Their whole search thing is terrible. So
who's search?
On my Twitter, I have my link tree, and my link tree there's a link directly to my TeePublic store. Yeah. So, but there's everything that they offer, I have stuff. I mean, there's book cover shirts, my tapestry stickers, all types of
when
shit.
I search Talking Pulp Press, this is what comes up. Which I believe
the Substack.
Yeah, the Substack. So if you have links, by the way, copy whatever link you want, and over on the right-hand side on the bottom, you'll see private chat. Post any links that you guys want to. I told my awesome co-host to do that earlier, and they didn't listen to me.
Nope.
So, nope.
Well, if we're throwing each other under the bus here, I did get a bunch of links from Rob already, and I put them in our Gilded chat, but,
Yep.
That's all right.
It's really, really hard to go back and forth between multiple. I need 2 more monitors. I'm not even screwing with you guys.
Here, I'll get it for
2
you.
more monitors, another head, 4 or 5 more arms,
couple more kids. Dude, here's the awesome thing. When children grow up, they start doing yard work and chores.
If you're lucky.
That's the grift. They get lucky my ass. It's not about luck. It's less about luck and more about fear.
I have a girl. I'm lucky if I can get her to leave the house half the time.
Oh yeah, the girls are interesting. Girls are, dude. I lucked out though. My boy is so awesome. The girls are straight demons. Straight demons. Like I don't know how I'm gonna deal with them when they're teenagers. I just don't know how.
They actually reverse once they, get close to puberty.
Yeah.
Man,
that's my lovely wife. That's not a bad idea, Philip Braha.
I have
And
one.
I have actually thought about that. The problem is I don't know how I would set it up because I am very anti drilling holes in the walls to put up like TV monitors and stuff for like mounts.
Why?
Because I like to rearrange stuff every 5 or 6 months or so. Like twice a year, we'll go through, rearrange the furniture, try to kind of get that fresh feel for the room again. And when you do that and you have holes all over the walls, it's very irritating. So yeah. I am not turning into DSP. Fuck you, Toxic.
I saw that one. I was waiting for you to see it.
You sons of bitches. Fuck you. So a lot of interesting things have been happening this week between actually something we were talking about briefly before the stream. All of the shadow banning that's happening right now with a lot of some of the larger creators, but that just, I mean, you can feel those Ice Age, as somebody coined on my channel, the Ice Age media getting really pissy. Like they really don't want what we're doing to take off, and they are trying to shadow ban people. Have you guys seen all that?
Yes.
I'll be honest, no.
Well, I've seen it popping up in my feed, but I haven't done enough to really investigate it. I've just been, I'm finally like getting back ahead of the tidal wave that seems to be the website. So,
Well, for me, I'm not real tuned into the Indiegogos and crowdfund stuff, since most of my business centers around coaching people to write books. That's really all that I pay close attention to.
No, and it's absolutely insane what is happening right now. There are, I think we talked about it on Shad's stream last night, where there are 5 or 6 different larger creators, people who have been, and then on their second or third books, who are completely shadow banned on website. Their links are still up, but you can only access their book through the physical link itself. And these guys are raising serious coin and you can't find them. You can't search them. John, who is the gentleman who was just here, who just completely ruined my fucking stream. Anyway, so John actually did a fantastic video where he actually looked up, he was actually able to go in and see the coding of the website and see that they had flagged the pages on the sites
To keep them out of the search engine.
to keep them out of the search. You can't search their names, you can't search their books, nothing. And I think that this is a sign of the times that we're in, that these people are getting scared shitless. Because they still, and here's the reason, they don't want to take it down, because then they owe all that money to the creator, right? They still want their cut. So they leave it up, but they just, hide it so that way nobody else can see it, so they can still get their cut. Dude, there are some very nefarious business dealings happening right now.
well,
What do you guys think?
I mean, my thing is that the goal of any of that is to slow things down and try and break momentum of things. So you saw like what happened with PayPal and Eric July, right? They knew that they were going to have to pay him, but they also knew that he didn't really have any legal recourse and that they could basically abuse him for a couple of months and, maybe just cause problems. And I think that one of the things you're going to start seeing is, once the shadow banning, if that doesn't work, then you're going to start seeing more financial actions taken. And one of my, like people talk about like the parallel economy. And I think that that's an important thing to talk about, but I also kind of want to think about, a new economy entirely, where it's like, we don't rely as heavily on the traditional financial system, because everything goes through the same, whenever it goes international, almost everything goes through SWIFT, which is the same banking system. And so, you can have alternate pay processors and so on and so forth. What, I can't remember what it was, but Freedom Pay or something. I think Dan.
Well, no, there's literally a site called Parallel Economy. It was
and there's a couple of couple of those kinds of things, and it's I'm in favor of that, but I mean it's also kind of like what happened with Parler, which was also championed by Dan Beningo,
was-
where the moment it actually hit liftoff, there was actually no infrastructure. There was no real infrastructure there, and they just got completely pounded into the sand whenever they had to rely on their own, infrastructure. Which, mind you, those were violations of their contracts, everything else, yada yada yada. But I think there's going to be some major headwinds, but I think it's a sign of, actually making traction in my mind. But do you take it as a indicator of anything, Rob, or would you say, because I know you said you were kind of more politically inclined in the past, do you think that it's an indicator of kind of like a broader anything, or if it's just kind of like one off, oh, we don't like those guys?
Oh, son of a bitch! I blocked
it's-
somebody that I didn't mean to.
No, I think it's more of a.
I was trying to block thought bots, and damn it.
Go
I
ahead,
don't think it's a broader thing outside of Indiegogo. I think it's just something that they're doing, and I've never had anything on there, but it's never been a platform that I've fully trusted. They, for a long time, were better than Kickstarter, and they weren't doing this type of stuff. But the fact that they're doing it now doesn't surprise me.
Yeah,
I mean, they are based in San Francisco, so
I don't know. I'm loath to ascribe greater meaning to things without evidence. Is, in my opinion, if you believe that shit's lurking in the shadows at all times, you're going to be afraid of the shadows.
yeah. Well, I mean, I think
Yeah.
what Eric July did too is in creating his own platform and doing everything on his own platform was the best route to go. I mean, that's not something everyone can do, unfortunately. Like, if I actually do get to the point where I want to crowdfund a graphic novel version of my books, I mean, I don't know if I want to use Kickstarter or Indiegogo, so that's something I would have to figure out. So I'm hoping, like, with what Eric July is doing and what he's actually building, is maybe that becomes a platform other people can use as well, not just him. That he could for a fee or whatever, he could just host people and you wouldn't have to worry about the shenanigans.
yeah.
That's true.
Calvin,
There
if you are
was-
down there, I apologize for blocking you guys. Reach out to Calvin if you can. I accidentally blocked him while trying to block thought bots. They were popping up. I am so sorry for that. I fucking
Poor
hate
Calvin.
and it won't give me the ability to unblock him here. So I had to go into the back end of YouTube. I hope I have to reach out to him. I feel like such a dick.
It's the chat, the wonderful YouTube chat system, renowned for how helpful it is.
It's terrible.
I'm glad I
It's
don't
fucking
have to deal
terrible.
with any of this.
Rest in
my
pepperoni,
God.
yes. And yeah, we're gonna pour one out for you there, buddy. Sorry, a fatality in the thought war.
I feel I hope Calvin comes back. I didn't mean to block him. I feel like such a dick. It won't let me do anything. It won't.
Death by
It's my
boomer.
fucking channel, dude. Well, that's the thing is like, so the original stream that I set up tonight, I accidentally hit yes, it was for kids instead of no, it wasn't for kids, and YouTube won't let you change that back. Like, oh fuck, I fucked up. No, it's like they won't let you change it back, and now Calvin, who sent in a very generous super chat earlier tonight, is now blocked on my channel, and I don't know how to. I need to figure out how to.
Technical difficulties.
Yep.
I'm going to be back in a second.
All
Take
right.
the time, man.
I got to make room for more whiskey.
Oh, there you go. Good sir. Good sir. I need to go to. All right. here's what I
Collateral
gotta do.
damage.
Yeah.
Poor Calvin.
All right. I will figure out how to get him unblocked. I will do this thing. Oh no, I know who this guy is too. Son of a bitch. He's a creator that I actually want to have on the channel.
Not now, I guess.
Yeah, apparently. Okay, but I know who he is. And I can go to Twitter and tell him that I am sorry because I know who he is now. I feel like such an ass, guys. That is such a horrible thing to have happen.
Yeah. But accidents happen. Don't.
I know. I'm just trying to figure out how to undo it. Well, and now it's saying that he was hidden. What? Oh God. Calvin was hidden by a drinker. I was not hidden by. No, you weren't hidden by me.
So I was gonna say, let's get something.
Keep going.
I was gonna say I had an idea for something as far as the. You said that you had about 15 stories. I'm just circling back to the Dan the Destructor stuff, if you don't mind. But you said you had about 15 stories. You wanted to do kind of like phase 1 with the first 5 stories.
Yeah, but there's going to be between. I did book 1 and 2 back to back, but now with like the actual books that are part of the saga, which I call like book 1, book 2, I subtitled the titles with that. There's probably going to be 1 or 2 between each one of stuff I have planned. So there's other stuff I want to write too that's outside of the series, or could be related to it somehow later down the road. So
that's why I started 2, because I didn't want to be stuck working just on one thing.
Yeah.
Are you? I was going to say, as far as the other stuff that you'd be doing, do you think it'd be similar pulp format? Or are you thinking about
most of the stuff that's Barbarians of the Storm will be. I'm also thinking, as far as pulps go, the pulp style, I have some ideas for some noir stuff I want to do at some point.
Yes.
Cool. But I want to focus on getting like the first phase of Barbarians of the Storm stuff done before I start like doing some of the other stuff. But also the name Talking Pulp, before it was Talking Pulp Press, it was my website where I basically just did reviews and wrote about pop culture stuff, and did that for about 5 or 6 years. And I want to take a lot of the reviews, because I wrote something like, I think it's like 2,500 just film reviews, not to mention all the other reviews I did.
Holy
at that time.
shit, that's a lot.
Wow.
And I want to compile a lot of that stuff into books, where I'd have a book about film noir, a book about kaiju movies, a book about stuff that's specific. I reviewed every movie ever featured on Mystery Science Theater. So I want to take all those reviews and put them into like one volume. So that's like, there's like all this ideas and stuff I want to do on the side in addition to the fiction, but then there's other fiction stuff I want to do that's not Barbarians of the Storm. But with the fiction, the Barbarians of the Storm is the focus until I get to what the end point of this phase is going to be, which is already pretty much mapped out. It'll probably end with book 5. It may go into book 6, but it'll probably end with book 5.
Are your reviews on your website or your Substack?
They're not on Substack. They were on WordPress. They're on it's just talkingpulp.com.
Okay. I think I've been to your Substack, but not your website. So
I've never seen talkingpulppress.com. Like,
or is it Talking Pulp?
Talkingpulp.com.
Talking Pulp.
The original site. And then my Substack, it's like Substack / Talking Pulp Press, but it's also barbariansofthestorm.com, takes you directly to it. But the blog that I ran and did all the reviews and stuff, it's kind of been dormant since February. Because when I started writing the books, like that just became my focus. So right now it mirrors some of the more important posts I put on the Substack, but that's pretty much all that's been posted there for about since February.
Yeah.
So,
do you do you see yourself wanting to get back into reviews, or is it kind of at a point where, I mean, and if you did more reviews, would it be of older stuff, or would it be like kind of more?
I mean, man, my
legacy media stuff or not?
My review site was pretty much everything. Film was the biggest thing, but I mean, I reviewed every genre from every era. Like my initial goal with that site was I wanted to draw attention to movies from all eras, different styles from different countries that I feel were things that were good enough that needed to have more attention drawn to it.
Absolutely.
So I tend to I'll review anything, but I tend to gear a lot. I tended to gear a lot more towards subgenres and stuff that just most people in the mainstream don't know about. So, and then my other goal with it was to review
built up a lot right now with with this movement that's happening.
Yeah,
I have a kind of a off the wall question here. You were talking about watching some of the what was like the Italian,
Yeah, the
sort of
rip-offs of
older
Barbarian
Conan
movies
and whatnot.
Mad Max, and
Yeah, all of those. I've always thought that some of the stuff that came out of that era of Italian cinema was pretty interesting because it's sort of, what would you call it? Well, to me, I think of it as kind of like unrestrained.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean,
Like,
it's almost it's pulp in film form, really. I mean,
yeah, it gets really crazy at times, where they just will do some. They're a lot more uninhibited, I guess. Is what
I mean,
would
and
say.
I'm a
Trying
huge
new stuff.
fan of Italian horror, and Italian horror had played a big influence on Eyes and All Shadows, and actually the titles for a lot of the short stories, I thought of Giallo movies and their crazy titles, and that's kind of what kind of dictated the style of how I name my stories. Yeah, lots of numbers and just weird phrases and shit.
Very cool.
But I also, like, in doing that too, it also kind of gave me, at least I feel as I was writing it, it kind of gave me a similar tone to those type of films.
Yeah, I think I don't remember how old I was. I was pretty like young teen whenever I saw Zombie 2, which is like it's the Italian cinema sequel to Night of the Living Dead.
It was the sequel to Dawn of the Dead.
No, Dawn of the Dead. That's right. Yeah,
Calvin's bad.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't know too. Like Italians, they really didn't give a shit about copyrights, especially from Hollywood films. So they would just do their own versions of sequels to everything.
Yeah. But I just remember in that movie, there's like a zombie shark fight, and it's like an actual dude in like a male shirt, like fighting a shark underwater. And I was like, dude, this is awesome.
Yeah,
and I like
zombie
opened up
punches
my
a
whole
shark.
world to how crazy some of this stuff was. And so I'm I hadn't thought about that in a long time.
Yeah, I saw that movie way too young, and the ice stuck with me for years, man.
There's some interesting gore. Some of those, like we had Christopher Cooksey, but Christopher Moonlight on last week, and he was a big fan of practical effects and whatnot. I mean, that's one of the things I sort of loved about that. With his
movie had some interesting scenery in it too. He did a really, really decent job with the practical effects and what he was able to pull off using the shadowing and the miniatures and all that. That was really impressive. And Christopher Cooksey is the guy that was like, if you could find a way to give that man a budget of $1 million, I think he would compete with the guys who are running with 50 million. He's just his creativity and what he was able to pull off on that small of a budget was insane.
Yeah.
I was going to say, Rob, have you ever thought about, I think you described the original incarnation of Dan the Destructor as sort of a graphic novel screenplay, correct? Is that the phrase you used? Have you considered
not screenplay so much? I mean, I have a script. Yeah, I mean, I wrote
a script. That's right. Sorry, but I was started thinking about screenplay. Have you ever thought about writing a screenplay for something? Or
yeah. Originally, when I was starting out as a writer, I wanted to make films, and I had a lot of friends that were really into it. And it just, life's one of those things, and films are really hard to make. And ideally, I think at some point, I would like to try. But this is my focus right now, and it's something that's working out. But hopefully, like if my platform builds and stuff, like I'm not gonna lie, man. Like I'm writing these stories, and I'm already envisioning like, who would play this character, like. Yeah, and I've already got ideas.
I'll do that.
So.
Can I play the drunk in the corner?
There's a lot of those. So,
can I play like one of them? I will be the extra number 55, like getting plowed, like just drunk in the corner. Sorry,
since I already went
raising
once today, I'm not going to go there.
Whoa.
Sorry, John ruined the stream early. I didn't expect that.
John was fine.
John was
John.
Dude, that guy going on his streams is just no. That was no, because that used to be saying getting plowed used to be a euphemism for getting drunk, and now people take it a totally different way.
Just
I'm a child of the 90s.
Somebody on Twitter about that.
I want to get get written in for a decapitation, a side character decapitation, please.
There's a lot of those too. So.
Yeah, exactly.
That would be great.
I figure you
That'd
could
be-
work me in.
You guys-
Daniel, any requests?
That would be fantastic. It's just like people, like if this grows big enough and people are just like, okay, so like, here's the thing. I don't even have to talk, but just let me get decapitated, or let me be this like stupid guy that like falls out of a door that your character just like steps over and walks.
Yeah,
Hey, like,
I'm willing to die in whatever
yeah.
interesting way you need me to.
Yeah, like it's funny though. The only character that I can't think of somebody that would be good for it is Dan. So my friend
I was
said,
actually curious about that.
Yeah, my friend said Chris Pratt if he could get him fat again.
I mean, he's a barbarian. You do have to have a certain level of physique to pull
Well,
that
Dan's
off.
not a barbarian.
Yeah, he's an office worker.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. At
I
least
should read
initially.
the books.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Fenric
what
is
makes the
Fenric
story
is the
so
barbarian.
interesting.
So.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. He's an officer. Well, who the fuck was the guy that played in Office Space? Get that guy. The lead character in Office Space.
Ron Livingston.
Yeah.
The problem with Dan though is I need somebody that can come into the first story early on and be a bit tubby, but then kind of get really, really fit by like book 3. So that's the
So
challenge.
basically, you're going to shoot over the course of like a year and a half, and then just make this guy just get extra swole.
Oh
through
no,
the
man! I'm
entire-
going practical effects, just fat suit like Martin Lawrence and that.
There you go.
Right, that's so great, dude. That's so great.
Hell yeah.
John A. Douglas down in the chat says,
God.
right, epic fantasy. Hail the Iron Age. Hail the Iron Age.
What's up?
I love how
brother?
that. I love how Hail from like the Friday Night Tights crowd has just like gone everywhere across the internet. It's so fantastic to see that. The first time somebody dropped Hail in my chat, I was like, holy shit, I'm like Friday Night Tights. It was crazy to no. I'm what makes me very excited about this is to see the enthusiasm that seems to be mounting around everything that we're doing. And the networking that is happening as a result of that enthusiasm. So, and you don't need to get specific with anything, but has anybody interesting in your mind reached out to you for networking, purposes?
No, not yet. But there are people that are much larger than me that have noticed. And in all honesty, too, like I started when the Iron Age thing, when Razorfist did that video, like, I mean, it was perfect timing for me because my second book had just come out. And that came out maybe within the month that book came out. And I was like, I've been a fan of his for a long time and I really kind of embraced it. And I was getting to know other writers on Twitter since my first book came out in those few months. And I just started doing those. I was doing marketing tweets every day for myself anyway. And then I decided it was one Wednesday. I just decided I'm going to tag in a bunch of people that I feel fit kind of the mold of what this is, that are really hungry, that are passionate, that are doing really interesting, cool things that I'm aware of. And it just kind of kept growing. And yeah,
Dude, your Wednesday tags are insane.
And it really helps too when Razorfist, not every time, but occasionally, like every 2 or 3, he'll just retweet it and that's it. And then they explode. And that's probably helped me more than anything is the few times that he's retweeted it once or twice a month. That just draws a lot more people to it. So, and I'm just, I'm all about trying to sell as many books as I can, but I want to help as many people as possible because this is something I think that's bigger than the 4 of us. I mean, it's just,
and that's
make a difference with this.
And that's something that we've talked about here too. Whatever is happening right now is much bigger than any individual person or almost any small group of people. What's happening right now is insane. But I think Toxic Crusader has a good idea. Petition Elliot Page to play Dan the Destructor.
Bad idea.
No.
Let's add some body armor. Dan.
She can play Manny the Goblin Cook.
Oh, God.
Oh, there goes my stream. YouTube nukes it. Like, what do you mean? Like, you dead named her. called her a her, and she's not a her, and fuck off YouTube. I don't care.
Well, I was gonna say, I think Rob was one of the first people to like tag me in on things on Twitter whenever I was very first, getting things off the ground, and I was just writing all my own articles.
It was
like very
my
early
tag on
it.
that list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like I went to work, I was doing my thing, and then all of a sudden my phone's like, I'm like, geez, what the hell is that? I'm like, so I'm thinking like my wife's trying to call me, like there's an emergency. I open it up, it's like, you've got 20 notifications on Twitter. And I'm like, I don't even have 20 followers on Twitter. What are you talking about? So I open it up, and it's one of your tweets that people are just sharing and liking and retweeting and responding to, and I'm just like, I don't know what happened here.
Mm-hmm.
I was genuinely.
Yeah, you got to strike while the iron's hot, man. And I feel like it was just, I don't know, it was kind of a perfect timing thing, and
I was touched.
No, it's awesome to see that.
I think it's always nice whenever it's just a nice thing for the community, and help. But yeah, I think it's been instrumental in helping the sort of larger collective, or I guess I would say more like the cooperative group of people, because it's very different. It's a very disparate group of people out there right now.
Yeah,
and everybody's doing their own thing, but
place.
I think we all have very similar goals in terms of trying to create new media that everybody enjoys.
Really quickly, guys. So let's do this really quick. Raving Dad Gaming for $2. Thank you so much. I know this guy personally. Working on a 4-book series right now. He has been working on this. I can confidently say that Raving Dad Gaming has been working on his books for over 10 years. Since we were, I want to say freshman year in high school. So he is working on that, making sure that it's good to go. And then we have Paropsis Press. Every Wednesday, I wake up to multiple notifications and I think, what did I do? Then I think, Rob.
Exactly.
Katie.
Hi, Katie. No, no. And she's not wrong. And she is not wrong at all.
She's in my laureate group. That's why I get to do that.
Oh, okay. Well, and hopefully I'm not speaking too soon, because obviously we don't know what life is going to have planned out for us in the next week, but hopefully Katie will be joining us next week, and she will be our honored guest. So very excited for that one. Now, I think that I think that one of the most surprising things for me is coming to the realization that there was this much energy that was just bottled up in like individual people. And as soon as a name was given to it, where people were like, and it was perfectly encapsulated for the most part. It's like, I believe in writing good stories to write good stories. I don't need the Marxism. I don't need the woke crap. I don't need this ideological corpo media garbage that they're shoving down our throats. I believe in telling the good stories again. And as soon as a name was given to it, and I started seeing the energy and the enthusiasm behind it, I was absolutely blown away, and still am every time it just keeps coming in, and it's not slowing down. It's gaining momentum. How do you guys feel? Have you guys felt that too? Just that wave of energy from all of these people just collectively like, oh, hey, and then just like zombie horde. They're just
yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, that's just when I do those Wednesday posts and I see how many people engage with it. I mean, that right there is like proof that something's happening.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It's absolutely nuts.
Before the name Iron Age actually really started to spread into my little corner of Twitter, I was talking with Fiona Wolf and a lot in threads and tweets, and she had posted a term called superversive, which was meant to be sort of a more positive, more hopeful, more light-oriented type of storytelling, which is right up my alley. I mean, Tales of Halcyon was literally about a pointless fat kid who learned how to be a hero. You know, it's just straight up into the cloud story arc as far as the journey was concerned. So I was all for it, but the term just didn't work for me. It was like superversive. It sounds odd when you say it out loud. And I kept banning it back.
Superversive?
Superversive. Yeah, that was the term that
like subversive.
Yeah, but the other
Yeah, the
direction.
opposite.
No,
Yeah.
but I like that. That bothered you?
It did. It's just such a long term. And
What
it
is wrong
seemed-
with your brain?
Well, I was trying to think like we were talking about with Iron Age. It's short, it's succinct, and it's powerful. When you say superversive, the layman person is going to go, huh?
Mhm.
When you say Iron
Okay,
Age, they
yeah,
go, "Ooh."
yeah, you're not
You
you're
know,
not wrong.
Iron Age
with
made
the
me feel
layman.
like a man again. So
I feel
Somehow
more like
I was
I'll
questioning
make
that
a
in today's
man.
world. So
I was gonna say,
Hallelujah.
I this is a little bit of a spoil. Like, this is a big announcement, guys. But very soon, IronAge.media is going to start selling supplement, like a super male Iron Age Vitality. So
Yeah. Sorry.
I
And
just
what
want
we're
to
going
let
to
you
call
guys
it is
know now.
let's
if you want to
get
feel like a real
down
man
to
again,
business. Sorry, that sounds
yeah,
like
you
my
need
head.
to send me $30 and I'll send you a bottle of pills.
yeah,
And,
made from tiger dong.
And you can get my pills. Go
we're
to
we're,
my
we're not going to have Royce
website.
singing on the ads. This is not working for me. Thanks.
Doesn't matter. I'm in the mood.
Oh, he's not bad.
Anyway, to break the tension, Isidro Lopez Irwin for $10 says, "Hail, witness me." Good sir, not on stream.
Yeah, keep that in the bedroom.
I know John already tried to ruin my stream. At this
We're
point,
mentally
it's over.
scarred now.
I know.
I'm scarred just hearing about it. Thank God I didn't see it.
I know. What happened to the stream? Wait, why are you talking about killing me? Oh God. Drake the Duelist is talking about killing me. Get your Iron Age Viagra today before I
No murder on stream.
Sadly, this is an internet 1.0.
Oh God. Sorry, I just saw that.
Well, we all, yeah, right.
Lord. What have I done? I'm joking. This is
I'm
not
joking.
serious.
I'm joking.
Oh. I'm gonna go on Twitter tomorrow, and somebody's gonna be accusing me of selling boner pills.
Yep.
With zero irony to it.
I'm gonna do it. It's gonna be me.
No.
I bet I'll get there first.
I'm actually thinking about how I'm gonna do this.
No.
So, shit, oh God.
Do you like your media
Hey,
Iron Age?
here's a gentleman
Well.
who is here. Sorry, sorry, that joke is going way too far in my head. So let's read super chat. Christian Magrum for $10 says, "Hey, several years old now, but another Iron Age book worth checking out is oh God, why does the chat jump? I hate it when it does that. Is Battle Lines by Jacob I. Walcott. Interesting.
Good
Battle
info.
Lines by Jacob I. Walcott. I am writing that down. Or writing it down. I'm typing it into fucking Google. And I, gentlemen, am going to have to take a page out of Rob's book. I'm going to have to go make more room for beer.
So do I.
Oh man. Oh,
I'll
you
just
started
sit here
it
and
now.
stare
You're
into the camera for a couple of minutes. You guys go ahead.
gonna...
By
I'm
what?
gonna grab a bucket and just bring it to the table.
Gatorade bottle.
What does John do to my stream? I blame him for this.
Yeah,
Road
this
trip
is
rules.
We have
much
been-
worse than usual.
We have been gentlemen and almost scholars up to this point.
The question
I'm a
I have to
scholar.
ask is how does no one on FNT ever pee? That show's like 5-6 hours sometimes.
They
'Cause
do.
they-
You'll see their
road-
cameras go dark. That's
trip
exactly
rules.
what they do.
Everybody just looks away for a minute.
That looks interesting. That looks very interesting.
Are you talking about Battle Lines?
Yes, I'm
Yeah, I
looking at it
checked it out.
Never mind.
right now on Amazon. That cover art.
I was going to say
Oh.
I'm always accepting articles. So if you have something that you really love and you want other people to know about, I'm not super picky about the exact date that things were written. I had
He also accepts
somebody-
feet pics, ladies and gentlemen.
no, but I had
I'll be back. I need to
somebody
go.
write in an article about Spooks, which is a graphic novel, kind of a Weird West graphic novel that came out around 2000. And that looked very interesting. But that same creator, who I think is in the bande dessinée category, has been creating Undertaker, which is a popular series, comic series over there. So
Nice.
it's always interesting to find people and that maybe put something out a couple years ago, see where they are now. I'm really hoping that personally I'm hoping that as the sort of movement picks up steam and people get a little bit more excited for new media and tire of just complaining about legacy media, that some of the creatives who just weren't, they were a couple of years ahead of the curve trying to create something and whatnot, come back and get drawn into creating again, because I'm definitely one of the big pie, the bigger the pie the better. Like, I'm not worried about trying to I don't think people should be concerned about trying to make sure they get their slice. It's like if everybody is getting excited about new media, then the revenue potential from that is so massive that there's really space for everybody, And I think I don't know what you think about this, Rob, but I'm of the opinion that I think a lot of our culture has been, it's pretty well been strip mined at this point. And I think people are, they don't want to say goodbye to their old franchises necessarily, but they are ready to kind of like give them a break. Is that something that you feel? Or
that's actually why I wrote Dan the Destructor initially. Is like 2 years ago, even I was like, man, everything I cherished that were like really important franchises to me, like that played a big impact in my life, like I was just absolutely losing interest in. And when I wrote Dan as a graphic novel initially, it was just simply, I just wanted to write something that I wanted, like that I would like, that was for me. And it was one of those things where I didn't write it with even like fans in mind or anybody else. I just wanted to write a story that I would enjoy. And luckily people like it. So, but yeah, that was pretty much it, man. I was like, we need to start. I don't know. I think it's almost like you're in this comfort zone where you have these franchises that were so successful and won people over for years, and you're in this comfort zone and this familiarity with it, where you want to embrace it. And the new stuff comes out, you get excited because you remember how it made you feel. And like me personally, man, like I don't feel that for any of it anymore. And I wanted to feel that again. So, and I felt like the only way I could do it was actually trying to create something myself. And I feel that's a lot of people. That's not just me. I think that's why a lot of people that normally might not have gone down this path of writing books are now writing books, trying to create new things. Yeah. And there's how many, I don't know, man, just how many times can you see these things just, it's not even, there's the failure aspect to it where the modern people don't understand the characters. They don't understand the legacy, the franchise, any of this shit. And most of the people that we know now, most of the people that write this stuff don't like it anyway. And they just want to change it for their own reasons. But beyond that, it's just oversaturation. Like, Star Wars was a thing where when a Star Wars movie came out, it was special. Now there's Star Wars there's something new Star Wars every quarter. Same thing with Marvel. There's a new Marvel thing every other month. It's just
Well, that's what happens when things go corporate.
Yeah.
It's always that way. You see any sort of franchise, and it doesn't necessarily have to be, pop culture franchise. Any sort of franchise, once enough attention is drawn to it, then the corporate vultures swoop in, and it becomes what I've called assembly line whimsy. And
Yeah, I mean, and Disney's turning our childhoods into a monopoly that they own.
Mhm.
I mean, it's just,
and it just turns out, and each story gets progressively more and more bland, but they'll keep making them as long as people keep paying for them.
Yeah.
But that's changing now. So
Yeah. And that was sort of the idea with Legacy of Heroes. I wanted to goodnight kiss the MCU and DC for that matter, because while I liked a lot more of the direction the DC movies were trying to go towards, they just refused to pull the trigger to really step out of the MCU's shadow. So, my superhero novel is literally about essentially a Superman who died. His replacement is the main character, and it references a billionaire vigilante hero throughout most of the book. It's basically the big three of DC, and then this new group of kids. And the whole point of doing that was I just wanted to say, let's put this gritty BS to bed, because this is what superheroes are meant to be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I also, and I think that's, I think one of the problems that has faced sort of modern media is that various corporations realized that they could age up certain franchises and brands away from their roots, and then they would get a bunch of nostalgia interest.
I think,
and then it would also be kind of novel to, like, it was not totally novel, but it was more interesting than some of the other things to have, like, really gritty Batman or whatever, because it's a kid's novel. People remember it from their childhood, and then whatever. I mean, it's been done before, but it was like, I feel like they found a trick, and then, like so many things, they just drove it right into the ground.
But they followed what the progression actually went, and then they just took it to its logical conclusion. Because if you look at for example, the Batman franchise, the earlier Batman movies, the first one was well done in storytelling, but it was campy. It was literally it was Tim Burton. What are you going to do? But then the rest of them were silly,
huge, and
they were silly, and they were because everybody that in Hollywood was thinking these are comic books. And then we get the Miller period.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, all of a sudden, the new Batman is darker and more realistic, and everybody's going gaga for it.
I would say I still, and it's probably heresy to say, I still love Batman Forever with Val Kilmer. I still love that movie. Stop it. Okay?
I like Batman and Robin more, actually.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, because when I look at it for what Joel Schumacher intended, and I've kind of made peace with how bad it is, I kind of appreciate it in a weird, campy, his version of 1960s Batman.
I
like
have
the ice
always,
puns. I'm sorry.
I always thought that Chris O'Donnell did a decent job in Batman and Robin.
They wanted to age up Robin, and Chris O'Donnell filled that well.
But and I don't think that he did a bad job at all.
No,
I thought that was well done, because there is something to be said for having like a super young person being able to do the acrobatics and the fighting, and you just don't have the body mass to pull off as a 14-year-old or 15-year-old or however old the younger Robins were. You just don't have the body mass to pull that off. But as a young 20-something, No, I want no. But I think once you're 18, 19, 20, 21, or however old, Chris O'Donnell was, I still think that I liked how cocky he was. So he definitely wasn't Dick Grayson.
I mean, I would have liked.
He was more of a Jason. He was more of a Jason Todd.
I would have liked to seen him actually do like a Nightwing movie. But
I would have loved that. Oh my gosh, him as
cool.
Nightwing. I think he would have killed it as Nightwing.
Yeah.
But there's a certain amount of suspension of belief that you have to go into with that sort of thing, because if you think about it, the comic book portrayal of Robin as essentially a prepubescent boy, there's no way he would have been able to do half the crap that he did in combat with supervillains. But all the flippy stuff, I've seen.
Yeah, that's true. You see, look at younger skateboarders. Look at young skateboarders and what young skateboarder, like if you guys have ever are into that scene or know people who are into that scene, go watch these 12 to 16-year-old kids. They're like 5'5". They weigh like 100 pounds soaking wet, maybe.
Yep.
And see what these skateboarders can do. I mean,
they
come off
themselves in insane ways.
It's absolutely well. Who was it? It was it wasn't. Oh God, I wish I could remember who it was, but there was an interview that I was watching with a skateboarder. Kind of part of the MTV world. Came up with Tony Hawk. And he was saying, he goes, we kind of came up at the good time that we came up with. He goes, because to be perfectly honest, with what we were doing back then, a lot of people are like, oh, you guys are pioneers. We couldn't keep up with these kids nowadays. Even when we were in our prime, we couldn't keep up with what these kids are doing. It's just, it's not, it's insane. And, I think, but I don't mind the suspension of disbelief until you have to suspend me so much that I have to disbelieve the universe that you asked me to accept.
Right. That's the point I was getting. Because while the 100-pound kid is fully capable of twisting himself into a pretzel, that 100-pound kid cannot take on a 275-pound linebacker thug who's bearing down on him. There's no way that kid could do that. With
there's weight classes for a reason.
There's no realistic way, even with martial arts involved.
Yeah, it's just
that size could get the upper hand on someone that big.
Exactly. You have to have a certain amount of force behind the hit, and let's face it.
I think they were trying to compensate for that when they wanted to introduce Robin into the movies, and that's why they aged him up to a later teenager, because then he has mass but also flexibility.
But then also Alicia Silverstone as Batgirl. So
that was very brief, but we all loved it.
No, what a terrible actress too. I'm sorry. I've seen her in some of those things.
She actually looked good in the suit.
She did, but my good Lord, that's the only good things that she has ever done.
I don't want to go into a negativity thing, but
Coolest is fine for what it is.
All right. A question for Rob here from Christian Magram for $5. Rob, did anime influence your Dan the Destructor story at all with the isekai aspect?
No, because I didn't know what the word meant until Catherine Francis wrote the review. As I said earlier, I was thinking about Beastmaster too.
Oh my God. So here's the thing. I don't like the Beastmaster movies. I don't. I like the show that they made later.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Yeah, I mean, I still like the first movie though.
I've tried to watch him.
So cool.
So the Beastmaster, obviously the Beastmaster movie came out when I was a kid, or not the movies, the series came out when I was a kid.
Yeah.
That was also when you had things like Young Hercules coming out, which I loved watching Young Hercules, especially as a kid. I just thought it was really cool. And that was obviously on the tail end of, Hercules, Xena, which I've watched both of those.
Kevin Sorbo.
Yeah, dude, love Sorbo. Oh, Sorbo. Oh my God. That would be like the dream person. Yeah, dude, Sorbo. Have you seen some of his tweets? Oh my God. I love Sorbo.
But what
But-
was great was after Hercules, he did Andromeda, and it was almost Hercules and sci-fi, and I was like, I am so here for this. This is awesome.
And
I
that
need to
is
go back and watch
such an
Andromeda again. It's been so long.
underrated sci-fi.
It
That was a
so good though.
nobody
Really?
talks about it.
Man, I haven't
Nobody.
watched that. I need to watch it.
Yeah, Andromeda
nobody
is
talks about
so fun.
I don't I don't know, and this is just a scrub when it comes to like Star Trek and stuff, because I'm not a Star Trek guy, but I've seen bits of like SG-1, and there was a Stargate animated series. You guys remember the Stargate animated series? You guys ever see
Yeah.
that? Don't stop crapping on my
I know of
childhood.
its existence.
I'm a big
Well,
fan
I guess
of
you know
Stargate.
my existence, so at least that's the thing. No, but no, the Andromeda series, I don't know if it would necessarily be in like top tier sci-fi.
No,
But
of course not.
man, it's really good, and Sorbo carries it so freaking well. I need to go back and watch it.
That was a weird era where there was like really good sci-fi TV just in
It
general.
was all coming out of
Yeah.
Canada too.
Yeah, there was just good. It was just, well, I mean, it's the 90s had, the 90s is simultaneously overplayed and underplayed. It's overplayed in the areas that it shouldn't be, and it's underplayed in the areas that it should be. And I don't know, like the 80s, like the 70s and 80s, I feel like people, they like, oh yeah, no, like definitely watch those things. But the 90s, all the crap that people remember from the 90s that just got really freaking popular are not the things that people should remember from 90s television. I used to watch so many different things that would just be like, it was like the Saturday afternoon stuff. There was a treasure hunter show that I used to watch, and the guy had like his boat on the dock, and I wish I could remember what it was called. And it was like modern day, and they would go and they would treasure hunt, and there were like, you know, like modern day pirates and stuff like that. And they, you know, and it was really good. But
Yeah, I think I've seen that.
I wish I could remember what it was called, but yeah, it was just, there was a lot of good things out in that time period, and there were so many good stories out that just got underplayed because they weren't Friends or Frasier, which admittedly I love Frasier.
But then there were some real stinkers as well. I mean, I'm gonna say it just because it has to be said.
Am I about to get insulted?
Possibly, I don't know. You may not have even heard of it. Mutant X.
Yes.
Oh wow, that show! Oh my,
The
that bomb after the first
X-Men
season?
knockoff.
Didn't that bomb after the first season?
No, it was. I think it made it through 4 total.
God, really?
Yeah.
And then you had shows like Buffy and Angel, which Angel was a 2000s show, but it gets
Buffy
largely
came first, and that was Joss Whedon. So
yeah, but like then you had Buffy and Angel, and my God, just fantastic stories there. I mean, I think that Angel is a much better series than Buffy. Personally, my wife and I will actually go back through and watch them.
I liked Angel quite a bit.
Angel, that's a guy who can act.
David Boreanaz.
Oh, dude, that's a guy who can.
SEAL Team is a phenomenal show.
What is it?
SEAL Team. He's the.
Is that running currently?
Yes, SEAL Team. David Boreanaz.
Okay, I need to check it out. Yeah,
he's really good. Yep. And then before that, he was in Bones forever, and everybody loved that freaking show.
Yep, my wife watches the entire series once a year.
My daughter revisits seasons constantly.
Yep.
Richard? I don't know. I like Buffy all right. I watched that with my wife, but I think that Angel is like probably one of the worst characters. I can't stand that guy.
Dude!
Well, okay.
I didn't realize that one of my co-hosts was an uncultured person. I apologize.
Now hold on. In comparison, in the universe of both Buffy and Angel, he's very two-dimensional. Everybody else is very overcomplicated, but Angel, as Angel was in the first episode of his own show, was trying to do what Fiona Wolf and I talked about,
mean,
constantly, which is Paragon arc. And
see, I've
that's
I've never
hard.
watched Angel because I couldn't stand the guy.
Yeah,
Really?
it's a hard.
No,
sell.
no. That's your homework, dude. I'm telling you, you will get.
No, I got too many other things to do. Sorry.
Was it the character or David Boreanaz that you didn't like?
All of it. I just didn't. I don't know.
No.
I didn't
Angel
really like
is
him. in
entirely
Bones.
different than
very
Buffy.
kind of like
the tone and the
nonsense.
feel of Angel is entirely different than Buffy.
Yeah,
Well,
and
I only knew him from Buffy. I've not.
okay.
I'm pretty critical. I'm pretty harsh on most like TV, and so I'm like, I don't know. I'm
okay. So
kind of an asshole, but
just do me this favor.
I didn't like that guy.
And here's what I tell people for shows that I really like and shows that I really enjoy, especially when it's a 20-minute episode. I tell people give it the first 3 episodes. Because a lot of times you can't. The first episode, like I tried doing that with like Sons of Anarchy. I could not get past the first episode. I tried watching the first episode like 6. I kept falling asleep. I could not. Everybody's like, well, no, you need to get like 6 or 7 episodes in. I'm like, okay, no.
Dude, that show had the worst ending I've ever seen.
I could not get into that show.
But
for
that
Angel,
show was supposed
give it
to
the
be a
first
modern
3
retelling of
episodes.
Hamlet, right?
If after, I what?
Sons of Anarchy.
Well, yeah.
It was meant to be a modern retelling of Hamlet, and then they went off the rails. Like the writer who created the concept in the first place just went way beyond the ending of Hamlet and decided not to go in that direction. That's where it got all wonky. But yeah. Anyways, on the Buffy thing, Spike is the man, and that's all I'm going to say.
Iron Age Media put up in our private chat that Galvin Gulata at 9:44 p.m. Thank you for calling me out on my channel. I appreciate you, Iron Age Media. That's why
I'm just trying to. I saw an interesting idea.
What would be cool? An Iron Age D&D stream. Authors play as the characters from their universe.
Wait. Clarify. Authors play from characters from their universe, like their own stories.
That was the way I read it.
You guys are interested.
Oh, hell yeah.
I have to be touch base with me after stream. I'm working on things behind the scenes. I hate it when the chat does that. It's like, hey, you should do this thing. And I'm just like, yeah.
That's a really good idea.
That's great. Yep. Love that idea.
I'll play the hell out of the Wizard of what?
But no, and it's just seriously, Iron Age Media. Richard, good sir, drinking that lovely mug. You give Angel the first 3 episodes. If after that you say I don't like it, that's fine.
I'll put it on it's on my pile now. Don't worry.
Dude, I know how big your pile is. That's garbage. It'll be 17 years before you.
That's code for
nope. My wife has like 3 or 4, just series that have multiple seasons that she's like, let's watch this. It's like, yeah, I want to, and I try to sometimes, but the way everything is, it's gonna be another 5 years.
The challenge I just gave to you.
He's still trying.
No. The challenge that I just gave to you, because that's what I always say, the first 3 episodes, right? Because that's usually, if I can't get into it after the first 3 episodes, I'm done. I don't care. If you can't hook me in a, and usually it's a 20 minutes. So if you can't hook me in an hour, right? Or 3 hours, because the different formats move differently. Hour-long episodes have a different pacing and so on. But if you can't hook me in the first 3 episodes, I'm done. I don't care. Your shit sucks. Literally, what I just did with you, I did with people who were like, I'm not gonna watch Supernatural, and I'm like, guys, I tell you what, I've got the first 8 seasons on DVD, and I'll have to buy the rest of them eventually. I don't think you will. I probably will.
They go way downhill after like 7 or 8, I think.
The first 5 seasons are some of the best television I think that have ever aired. The Supernatural seasons 1 through 5 bar none, are some of the best television that have ever aired as far as storytelling and character, just period. They wanted to end it at 5, but I think Warner Brothers came back and they, they were trying to end it. They were trying to say it was over. And I think I wonder how much money Warner Brothers put in front of them on that one, because the amount of people that were just like, you need to keep doing this. Then you get like the seasons 6 through like 10 arc, which were not as good as the original story, but it was like the medium, right? It was like, okay, you can see that the writing is changing. After 10, it just loses me. But that's the challenge I gave to people like, oh, dude, that chick flick show. I'm like, dude, Supernatural's not a chick flick show. And I tell people, give it the first 3 episodes.
It's a little bit. It's like a tolerable chick flick. It's a tolerable.
No, it is not. The reason that you would say that is because when your wife sees those 2 gentlemen on screen, her ovaries want babies. Like that's when my mother, who is watching the show, looks at me and goes, "Oh, he has bedroom eyes." I'm like, "Mom, no, no!" Like when your mom is telling you that a younger gentleman in television show has bedroom eyes, there's a very obvious reason why women are watching that show. Very obvious reason.
Hey, my mom was really into Star Trek TNG, and I was like, oh, my mom's into Star Trek. And then I noticed she started to make these pleasurable moans whenever Patrick Stewart was on TV. And I was like, Mom!
Gosh.
She's like, what? I'm like, I'm 7.
I'm 7. Yeah. Right. No, it's yeah. No, but that's the thing, is I always used to tell people, like, give it the first 3 episodes. If you don't like it after the first 3 episodes, don't watch it. It's not for you. If a show in its own right can't hook you in after 3 episodes, and that's the thing that I follow. People tell me, you need to check this out.
Well, to be honest, like Breaking Bad, for instance, didn't hook me until almost like the second to last episode of the first season. That one took a while, but then when it hooked me. It was when he became Heisenberg. I was like, "Oh, okay," but that was like episode 9, 10, or something like that.
My wife watched Breaking Bad as well. There's a lot of television. You know what show I actually watched recently is
just
anime,
give it 10 episodes.
Yeah, just give it 10. Oh, sure, time I don't have. The show
just get through season 1. If you don't want to watch it after season 1, then you're not going to.
Yeah. That's see. He's doing the big ask. I'm doing a small. No, actually, have you guys? I don't know if you guys are anime people at all, and I've gotten more into anime as time has gone on.
I don't like much of the new stuff.
There was one that I watched, which is totally based off of D&D, but I just wanted to check it out because I remember hearing about it. It was Goblin Slayer. That show,
somebody in chat just mentioned that.
Wow, Swift Sword Rush. Seriously?
I have lots of goblins in my books.
Wow, that is absolutely hilarious. Goblin Slayer. I checked it out. I like it. I really do. It's the main character, they did and they don't do this very well in a lot of places. The main character is a very stoic lead, silent, stoic, and you experience the world by how other characters around him act around him. And then when that guy gets, Swift Sword Rush, she says the first, Swift a guy or a girl?
It's a guy.
My bad. Anyway, so but no, I apologize, Swift. I apologize. I don't know, dude. They've used so many different in the pictures and anyway, I apologize. But no, Goblin Slayer, the first episode is brutal. I would not recommend that show for kids at all. In any way.
That's not better.
No, it's something I've wanted to watch for a while.
Dude, I would, and it's so funny is they totally based it off of D&D, and they do not lean away from it, and it's got some humorous moments, and but dude, the action is really well done. the main character, to experience the main character in that way, the very stoic, silent type, I don't get to see a lot of stories like that anymore. And you don't necessarily see the main character acting. There are sometimes he surprises you with how he acts, with like how brutal he can be, or even how compassionate he can be. But you're more watching the show and seeing how people react to the main character. And that was a very interesting, like, you get a lot of character building from how other people are reacting to this guy. And I just thought that that was a hellaciously awesome way to show off your main character. I just don't see a lot of shows that do that. Do you guys have a
trope?
Huh?
It's a video game trope.
Mm-hmm.
Silent hero is always
Yeah.
the character you operate, and the world
Yeah.
moves around them while you operate them.
Oh, you bullied him into a super chat. I tell you, this is
Dude,
Ask for a
terrible behavior,
refund,
Roy.
Swifty.
You shouldn't be hazing chat.
Swift Sword Rush for $5. I'm a guy. Last I checked, checks. You just and the hand disappears out of frame and then comes back. Sir. Dude, there are some people that I have found, and I'm just like, oh, and then just the way that some people will chat or talk or like this, that, and the other thing. Some people will be more reserved with language. Some people will be a little more bombastic with language. And I have found out that ladies that come to the show are not guys because of just some of the ways that they'll talk. Guys that come on the show, I'm just like, oh, wow, you're just being like really respectful. You just have this idea in the modern day that nobody holds their tongue anymore and everybody just talk. No, the internet lies to you. The internet's a lie. It's
all an illusion.
Oh.
None of this
So-
exists.
So
Wake up.
let me ask that question to you guys. What show do you guys like? I want a show from you guys that has a stoic hero. What's your favorite show with a stoic hero?
I'm going to go ahead and pull Daniel here and say I'm excited to hear what you guys have to say first. So
You cheaters! You can't
Yeah, I
look
don't-
at someone else's homework.
I don't know, man. It's like something I have to put thought into.
The stoic
as far
hero
as-
isn't done a lot. It's really not.
No, not that.
Well,
we, were
it's not-
just, we were just talking about David Boreanaz.
yeah.
He did good job in Angel, though. He really is a stoic hero.
The first couple
I
of
think there's a
seasons, Angel, he was
difference
very
between
stoic.
being stoic and just not having any kind of facial animation whatsoever.
Yeah,
That's
Yeah.
not how it works.
yeah, and I kind of I gravitate more towards like charismatic heroes.
Yeah,
Mm.
but Seeley
Yeah.
Booth in Bones, very
Dude,
stoic
he's
in the beginning.
So good.
Until he warmed up to her, he was very stoic and very standoffish, but
Mhm.
but
I don't know.
dedicated wholly to his job.
Is Fox Mulder a hero?
Fox Mulder.
Yeah, Mulder
Yeah, I think
counts.
so.
Oh, fuck
As
Mulder
a
and Scully.
stoic.
God bless it.
Yeah,
Yep.
Mulder
Sorry.
counts as a
I mean,
stoic.
he'd be pretty high on my list. I mean,
It's one of my it is my favorite animated movies of all time. But it was the father in the How to Train Your Dragon movies.
Mm.
He was, I mean, his name was stoic, like I believe but the father from How to I'm sorry, like How to Train Your Dragon those are my I cannot get over that storytelling, and those movies are my favorite animated movies of all time, bar none.
I've still never seen them.
I watch a lot of Chinese and Japanese television, so I see stoic characters more often than you guys do in those shows.
Fucking weeb.
Not how that works. Because I'm talking about live action television shows. I'm
Yeah.
not talking about anime.
Well, I just asked what kind of a show had a stoic character, and all you guys clammed up. Never mind. Not
I
gonna
mean, I can
continue
think of
that joke.
movies all day long, but shows.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a lot more stoic characters in movies.
Okay, so go for it.
It's easier
Well,
to do them.
I mean, the easy one I would say is like the recent Judge Dredd is like the first one I think of that I really enjoyed. That
With
I know that
Carl Urban.
some people
yeah,
don't
Carl
like it.
Urban.
Yeah,
That one was really good. As somebody who is a novice to Judge Dredd, I remember seeing bits and pieces of the other Judge Dredd movie when I was a kid. I'm really glad I watched the Carl. I'm
Hey,
really
man,
glad
I don't mind the Stallone one either.
I mean, I think it's kind of
That's
like its
right, it
own
was.
thing.
Yeah.
It's to me, it's separate from anything else. Judge Dredd, you know what I mean, in terms of like the 3D weeb.
It's like the Stallone Judge Dredd is like, it's like the bad thing. It's like all the bad things of '90s action movies done in the most awesome way. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
that's what Stallone movies turned into.
yeah. And
Like-
then he reeled it back
that way.
in, but then he lost it again. So he's
Demolition
Right.
Man. Come on.
Yeah.
I have not seen Demolition Man.
I mean,
Are
I
you
love
kidding
Cliffhanger
me?
just for John Lithgow's terrible accent.
Are you
was gonna
kidding
say,
me?
Do some.
And on that
Demolition
note,
Man, get
for
yourself
$2,
some,
Christian Magram, Arnold in Terminator.
mean,
does-
Arnold
So
in
in the
most things.
first one, he wasn't stoic, but I would say he would qualify as a stoic
He's a
hero in the
robot.
second movie.
I mean, Arnold in the Conan movies.
That counts in my opinion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
The Terminator movies, it's a fucking robot. He can't
Yeah.
help but be stoic. It's like
well, no, but in the
programmed.
first one, he wasn't stoic. Okay, so what are we defining as stoicism? Like,
Mhm.
I don't think
Yeah, I
he
saw-
qualifies because he's the villain in the first. Are there stoic villains? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. I'd actually say a lot of villains are stoic.
okay. I'm
Yeah,
an idiot. I love
Stoic
being
is
the idiot on stream.
generally,
It's awesome.
Sword Rush said Jack O'Neill from Stargate, which I think in the movie
Actually, yeah, that's pretty
is
good.
true,
Mhm.
but in the TV series, I kind of feel like he's a little bit too, like, at least later on, he becomes a little bit too flippant. But I mean, he's still stoic, but
He starts out that way, though.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
yes,
the
he definitely
flippancy is
starts out that way.
actually
I
like
think I
one of
kinda-
those evolution things where the characters reached a point where they're just so fed up with all the insanity that goes around them
Mhm.
that making sarcastic comments is the only way to stay sane.
Yeah.
It's like me at work.
He's like, do you
yeah.
see this cup of coffee right now?
Yeah.
This is the only reason you're alive. Hmm. That's how I am at work. Actually, no, my new job is actually pretty cool. No, I'm interested to see where we're going to go with the storytelling, especially involving Iron Age creators. And to be perfectly honest, I would say within 2 to 5 years, we're going to start seeing visual media along the lines of television media, whether it's animated or live action, that's from Iron Age creators using some of the stories from people who are writing right now, who are either noticed or unnoticed right now. What are your predictions for visual media? And I'm not saying topping the charts. I'm not saying, but what I'm saying is the collaboration and the enthusiasm here. I think animators, people who are like, I want to make a movie. I read your book. Let's do something with it. I think 2 to 5 years. What do you guys think?
Well, Shad's already got a short film being made with his
Mhm.
book. So I think
Well,
With
whenever
money,
that
I'll-
gets
Yeah,
done,
and
whenever that
Critical
gets done,
Drinker,
that
too.
might be, yeah,
Critical
and
Drinker, yeah.
whenever those things get done, I think that might be kind of another kind of, powder keg that explodes and kind of spreads outward and gets other people to kind of pick up that ball and run with it, like Razor Fist Video did about Iron Age in general. So
Mhm. Well,
there's a
I'm not sure if you guys were, if you guys caught this, but there was a series, like it was just an animated. It was very short, but it was well done. From the 40K, it was a 40K fan film that came out in little sections, and I'm blanking on what it was. It's one of the other Space Marine factions. But the only thing I can think of is Custodes. But that one like got a bunch of people excited. It was 2 years ago, maybe a year or two ago. But there can be some really excellent animation out there, and
This is going to sound.
I think that it kind of got shot down by Games Workshop itself. So a lot of these, franchises are like allergic to even fan media, which is just incredibly dumb in my opinion. But I think that we've seen a couple of interesting trends just in the past couple of years. One of the things that I sort of noticed that I've been thinking about and talking about some of the, actually I saw him in chat earlier with 365.
Infantry. 365 Infantry. Yeah.
But I was talking to him about how about 10 years ago, whenever, well, it was probably a little bit more recent than that, but gun tubers were starting to become a thing. And so you had these ex-military guys with just money being kind of like poured onto them. And so they had all these guns. A lot of them had military experience. And they, did a couple of films like the, back before it was Black Rifle, it was like Article 15. They had like a movie called Range 15. And it was, it was very comedic, but it was basically just a zombie movie with a bunch of them just burning money, to make a goofy movie where they got to shoot a lot of guns and dress up like zombies. And I think that, one of the things that the gun tuber community sort of has a problem with is that they always have issues taking themselves seriously. Or they either take themselves not seriously enough, or they take themselves way too seriously.
I think that people like Brandon
become
Herrera
very niche.
are bridging that divide. I think guys like Brandon Herrera is doing a good job with it, and even Grand Thumb. I always say Grand, but it's a Grand. I know. I don't know why. I always say it when my buddy gives me shit. My buddy has a Grand. That was issued back in World War II, so that's really cool. But then that aside, no, I think that there are people out there who, like I said, Brandon Herrera are really bridging the divide between the bombastic and the serious, and making sure that not only is it fun, because guns are fun. If you guys have ever shot before, I mean, they're an absolute blast, and literally. But I think that there are people out there who are starting to become more serious with it, who are starting to show the more educational side of it. But you're right. There for a while, man, it just got stupid with some of the stuff that people would do.
Yeah, and I think that it's kind of. I think that right now there's sort of where I was going is that I'm hoping that there's sort of a drawback from just being kind of like goofy and having fun, and trying to maybe put some, the AK-50, but put some
right.
more
Did
serious.
all of us? I love how all of us out here know, like, AK-50 though, right? Sorry.
But I just think that there's definitely some interest there, because some of the people around Grand Thumb who he's done some short clips and stuff like that. They've always been a little bit like, heavy on the comedic side of things, but there's definitely some people that he's worked with who are serious about making, more serious film. Like, and I don't necessarily mean like serious in terms of quality, but just serious in terms of tone. And so I know he's worked with some of I think it was SCP Heretic, or maybe it was Stalker. I don't know, but there's some guys who've been doing some Lovecraftian type stuff. But it's still very kind of like niche, gear guys. type of stuff. And I think that I don't know. I'm just hoping that maybe, in a year or two there'll be kind of like this marriage of a lot of the kind of money and cinematography on like the gun tube side with some of these more, some of these ideas and things that originate outside of the gun community, and hopefully maybe come from like the Iron Age and whatnot. But that's kind of like my wild theory that
Richard, do you and I need to have a gun discussion?
Oh, I mean, sure. Yeah.
Oh.
Well, actually, hold on here. If you want to know my opinion here.
Hold on. No, wait. Don't show anything. Okay. You're just showing a shirt. I was like, don't.
Yeah. There's my,
like,
that's kind of my opinion on the.
So
put in a vending
I was going to put a gun
RPG.
on my shelf, but I thought better of it.
Yeah, I think you get
not on live streams. You specifically,
Yeah.
It's really hard to do that on live streams. So, guys, I am going to share something with all of you, and this is actually something slightly personal to me and something that I think is absolutely fantastic for all of the people out there who are into guns and concealed carry and definitely taking care. Check out ivoryholsters.com. ivoryholsters.com does some absolutely fantastic concealed carry holsters for your ENG packs, obviously all that. And I actually own several of these holsters myself. One actually for an airsoft, for my airsoft loadout that I have when I go play airsoft, and the other for a Smith & Wesson that my wife and I have upstairs. And the reason that you guys go, well, boy, he jumped to this really quickly. Well, the reason that I am showing this is because everything that you're seeing here is handcrafted and built in my brother's garage. And my brother has worked on this for years, and I have watched how much he has grown. And so, guys, if you want to support not just me, but my brother as well, and you believe in what we're doing, double mag pouches you can throw on your tack belt, which I actually obviously his upgrade. I actually don't have his new version of his AR mag pouches. I need to get some new versions of them, but all of this here is absolutely fantastic retention, adjustable retention screws on everything. If you guys are into concealed carries, you can do inside the waistband, outside the waistband. He has so many different platforms that you can do, and I will read his about page here really quick because it's my brother and I believe in what he does, and I want to show everybody what he does. Welcome to Ivory Holsters. We're the proud leader in custom Kydex holsters using the very best materials available and fanatical attention to detail during each build. And actually he posts videos of all of that attention to detail on his Instagram and Facebook. Holsters should be comfortable, made for your specific firearm and the way that you want to wear it. We harmonize style, function, comfort, and safety. We work diligently to make each and every holster the very best it can be and make zero compromises on materials or craftsmanship. Even our screws are installed with thread locks, so that way the fit stays impeccably perfect. You won't find a more passionate team anywhere in the industry. Thanks for being our customers, supporters, and sharing our vision to make the world a safer and better place. The Ivory Holsters team, conceal for life. Absolutely. And so, yeah, if you guys are gun guys and you need to get some holsters out there, go to ivoryholsters.com. I had to share that because Richard got on to that topic, and I'm starting to realize, Richard, you and I may have more in common than I initially thought. And it makes me happy because the entire time I thought that you were just thinking I was an absolute blabbering moron and you were just here to rein me in.
No, that's Daniel's job. At least that's what I heard. It's
Wait,
actually,
Daniel, you think I'm a blabbering moron too?
No, I love you.
You say this.
No,
Calls me a drunk on Twitter. He secretly.
I was gonna say it's
Yes, I do.
And it's also not. It's not Daniel tonight. It's Pridley Whiplash, I believe.
Pridley Whiplash.
Pridely Whiplash.
I thought it was
Pridely
Lord of the Eyebrows.
Yeah, that too.
No, that was last week.
Well, at least I know
Yeah,
who's
they're
going to be
very
making my
cross.
holsters for the Barbarians of the Storm movie. So,
There we go.
Dude,
spoiler alert: there's firearms.
I'm
Yeah,
so down.
Very nice.
No,
Dan is a
he-
hell of a marksman. You'll find out in book 2. Spoiler alert.
no joke,
For
even dude.
reasons.
There are my brother has my nephews out there helping him hand sand and teaching them how to hand sand and build this craft and getting into it. Like he does a great freaking job. I have legitimately, again, this is all airsoft stuff, but I have legitimately slid down the side. I was playing in the mountains in Colorado back when I lived there. I slid down the side of a mountain and had to put my primary airsoft down and go to my secondary, and it was still there. And that was like the airsoft, my airsoft pistol in the holster was grinding against the side of the mountain as I was sliding down it, and I still maintained it in the holster, which I was very, very surprised with. I had to call my brother, and I was like, so remember how I told you I was going to test your stuff? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, so I tested it. And he goes, how did it do? And I'm like, can I be honest with you, brother? Did way better than I thought it was going. Because my job was to break it. That was I wanted to break it without breaking me. And I realized if I wanted to actually break what my brother was doing, I would have to have done something so catastrophically stupid, I would have broken my leg. So I'm like, all right. And Patrick, wait. How do you say Vivalo? How come you didn't buy Rob's books before you invited him on? Well, that's a very, very simple question. Because I'm a poor. Hey, poor people, why don't you buy stuff? I have my beer, and that's what I love.
I will send you books, by the way.
I am so appreciative that you would do that.
I'll trade you.
But it's something that I deeply believe in. And it's something, and I did it with an airsoft field. I support these creators means I'm willing to send them money. And it might take me a minute to do it, but I want to back up what I say with a financial contribution. And there are a lot of people in my Gilded right now that are probably semi-irritated with me because they're like, dude, I'm sending you stuff to your email. Like, have you read it? And I'm like, guys, give me some time. I support you. It's not like it's like what you were talking about, Rob, like all those friends that supported you and then they never checked out your stuff. And well, this is where this mentality comes from. I did the music thing for a long time. And a lot of people, oh, I support you. I support you. I'm like, guys, you wouldn't even share my post on Facebook. Oh, well, I don't check Facebook. You post 10 times a day. What do you mean you don't check Facebook? Crap like that. And that's why I tell people it might take me a little bit of time, but it's something that I feel deeply is I support these people means I'm willing to give them my money. I may not have the money today. I will absolutely have the money tomorrow. And tomorrow might take me a few more days than just one, but I will get there. And I support these guys means that I'm going to put money in their pockets, and then I'm going to hold the books in my hands, and then I'm going to read them, and I'm going to review them, and all of that. And I'm deeply honored that people are willing to send me their books, but I need to send them. I've got to pay you guys for what you're doing. I have to. I feel that it's something that I've always felt. I'm a capitalist. What can I say? Or am I just
too, so.
yeah.
Well, I mean, it's also mutually beneficial to a certain degree. I will say Bane has sent us or sent me some ebooks, and I'm trying to,
I regret this, but it's my wife.
Harvest some reviews and everything else, make them
Now we
available
know who to
people.
talk to.
So if you want to do an
regret
ebook or
that.
something like that, I'll definitely put it into the pile of reviewers. But everybody's volunteer, so it's kind of a first come, first serve, and it may not always be the most expedient review process, but
Well,
I'm
also,
always happy to try and do
That's
that.
the thing, though, right? Is that we all have the same 24 hours a day, same 7 days a week, and
sleep.
it's not enough.
there's
It's not enough.
millions of books out there, and there's hundreds of us. So
Mhm.
it takes time. Hi. So it takes time to get to that point. I mean, just for me alone, I'm reading a book from a local author, actually, a really, really good book. But I do, up until these last 2 months, I've been doing one book a month with my author group as well. Ooh, now you're getting called out.
Because I'm a poor. Here's the other side of it. Talk to my wife. She's got it. She tells me what I can or can't spend.
Well, like
all her
also
fault,
though,
huh?
like from my point of view, like you're a channel, you're starting out, you're poor, and you know, like I like you. I think you're a
love
good
how he
guy.
just-
I like all you guys, but at the same time, like me offering to like send you this shit, it's just to help you out. It's not.
No,
It's
I know
no
it.
skin off my back, and that's.
Well,
and I know you want to
yeah.
support me, but you had me on your show. I mean, fuck. I mean, what's more support than that?
Money.
And for
Money
me,
is more
like
support than
author
that.
copies are really not that expensive, so I don't care about sending.
No,
them
I
out.
like overbought, thinking people were going to give a shit in my real life. And that's what happened.
Well,
Dude, I still
right
have
now I only
t-shirts
have a
from my
couple
band
left.
from
but-
fucking 8 years ago.
Yeah. I was like, hey, your coworker published a book. You want a copy? Where's that fucking report? All right, well, thanks.
Yeah, I've been there. I've fucking.
You're like
been there.
you're going over to meet the new neighbor, and you're like, just so you know, if you feel like leaving a review on Amazon,
Yeah,
here's
I have
this.
my
Dude,
book.
It's
dude,
so.
that's in all
It's rough.
honesty.
I mean, I
in all
don't.
honesty, that's
I'm not an author. Thank
Reviews
God,
are the
'cause it's
hardest freaking
difficult.
thing because I know how many books
Reviews.
I've sold now. I see the units, and I know how many people tell me positive things on social media. But man, you got to review the stuff though. Like help a brother out. man.
Absolutely, it
It's
takes
sad.
5 minutes.
Yeah, it's just even if it's like 3 sentences and 5 stars, it's just just go on Amazon, man, and just like if you bought it, you liked it, you enjoyed it, and you want me to succeed, like that helps me.
I want
Yeah.
to buy it. I hope to like it. I really hope to enjoy it, and then I hope to actually review it on my channel. But if I'm going to review it on the channel, there's got to be a threshold there, and that threshold is my money.
Yeah, no, I
Right?
get
Fair
it.
enough.
Well, and
there's gotta
time.
be- and like and that's a thing, and that's a thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And also,
No, and like when I DM'd you on Twitter and told you I would just send it to you, but that was just me trying to like help you out, man, because I know, I know the struggle, dude. So,
dude, it's but it's not a bad struggle. Like, yes, time is an ever fleeting thing. Sleep is slowly slipping away out of my grasp, but it is such a strange feeling to wake up and the first thought that you have in your mind is, what new thing am I going to accomplish today that I didn't even know was on my radar? I think from Daniel's perspective and hopefully Richard's perspective, I think you guys know what I'm talking about. Is like you just wake up and you go, okay, I got to get ready for today because I don't know what today is going to throw at me. And then all of a sudden the day hits you with something and you're just like, wow, I was totally not prepared for this, but I am down to make it happen.
Actually, we have to give a shout out to one of the guys in my group, the 57. It's a men's support group. His name is Redmond Lowe. One of the things that he posts first thing in the morning for him every single day is, where does God want me to go today? And every day I see that, that's the first thought I have. And then immediately afterwards, I think about our show on Fridays, and I think about all the stuff that we're doing individually throughout the rest of the week. And I'm like, yep, exactly.
One of the things that I do before I record my videos, and as long as remember, because I'm not perfect in this at all. But I sit down and I say a prayer and I just say, you know, God, just grant me the wisdom and the strength to know how to use my words in the way that they need to be used. And that's just something that I say. And it's just because again, and all of us have said it, Rob, I think you said it, there is something way bigger than just us four here. Bigger than Shadiversity, bigger than the Critical Drinker, bigger than Razor Fist, bigger than the Friday Night Tights crew. There is something there is something that I have not felt in a very long time in a movement. And I was talking with who was it actually? I think it was on one of John De La Rosa's stream about the difference between like Comicsgate and no, it was Mike S. Miller. Or no, wait, it wasn't Mike S. Miller. Anyway, I was talking with somebody who was around during the Comicsgate thing, and they said, no, this is totally different. There's whatever's happening right now here, and everybody's noticing it. Friday Night Tights guys are noticing it. You know, John De La Rosa is noticing it. The Comicsgate guys are noticing it. I'm getting DMs that, hey, just so you know, people are watching your channel. Excuse me? You know, there are things. I mean, Iron Age Media is getting, you know, Richard, what he's doing. People are noticing it. It's insane. Yeah. Mark S. Miller. That's right. Mark S. Miller. Yeah. Hi, Mark. I was up for 20 hours. Everybody's like, dude, you were smashed. I'm like, no, I wasn't. Dude, you were smashed. We saw
it was the booze.
I literally was awake for 20 hours. And then after I got off of that stream, I sat there and I vibrated for a minute because I had Shadiversity and Mark S. Miller on our first freaking show. But
where the hell is Mike tonight?
I don't know. I sent him the link. I think he hates
Doing
me
his
now,
thing.
so he's probably away.
Oh, I mean, he saw Mecca Random's VJJ earlier, so he might still be.
Yeah, you got to go
rocking in a corner.
I didn't realize that.
Do you know how hard it was for me to pull it together before I came on here after seeing that mess? I mean, dude.
I saw Internet 1.0. Was it worse than that?
Yeah. You remember? Are you old enough to remember Rotten.com?
Sir?
Oh, dear.
Saw many things way too young. Way too young.
That wasn't even something I wanted to go to. I dated a girl that every day was like, look at this. Look at this.
Oh, Lord.
No.
Dude, Internet 1.0 was not the good. Not the good.
It was something.
Everybody, there's too much censorship online now. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
You know, man, I miss it being the Wild West.
Wild West.
I don't mind the Wild West, but I will say this. As a parent, there are things I do. My wife and I, we religiously, everything. My kids they don't have phones with cell phone plans on. They're essentially glorified Game Boys, right? They can watch animated shows on YouTube and they can play, mobile games. And that's what my kids are allowed to do. And everything goes back to my wife's phone. And we go back, we check, we see search histories, everything. We are religious with that. I listen to what's going on. If I walk in the house and I hear something and I'm just like, oh, wait a minute. You're done. Why are you watching this? Because people will disguise adult themed conversations and shows as like kid shows now on YouTube. And it's very nefarious. And so as much as I kind of miss the Wild West days of Internet 1.0, as a parent, I go, maybe not. Maybe not. Because it's hard enough right now with, believe it or not, the censorship of big tech kind of helping me. Going back to Internet 1.0, dude, my kids would have already, I believe my kids would have already been exposed to things that I am not prepared for them to be exposed to.
Yeah, I think one thing, though, is that with, Web 1.0 or whatever you want to call it, like everything, you could go anywhere, and there was like no guardrails on things. But at the same time, like everything was not being shoveled into the same place. You know what I mean? So like,
Yeah.
there's stuff on YouTube, even in the kids section, that no kid should be watching.
Correct.
And so it's very difficult to, it's almost more difficult in some ways, in my opinion, to filter out. Like you can avoid some of the worst stuff, of course, but because everything kind of goes into the same slurry, it's difficult. So I don't know. I'm ready for the next iteration of things, and you know,
I would like
people getting control back of their own data. I think that's one of the big problems.
That's huge. I would definitely like to swing back in the other direction. I am for. I would like society to dictate the rules and not government.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I don't like
Give you a
government dictating
skeptical
rules.
look because of that one.
Huh?
I'm giving you a skeptical look because of that statement.
Are you a fucking commie?
No, by no
Okay.
stretch of the imagination.
Okay. Why are you? I don't like government. Why are you giving me a skeptical look on that?
Because government is an extension of society.
Not inherently, no.
Well,
In its infancy, government. No, hold on. In its infancy, government can be an extension of society. However, as it grows and matures, government becomes completely separated from that society that basically brought it into its infancy. Again, we are a very different society than the society that brought our government into existence, right? And so we kind of go on this Y path, and as the Y starts to widen, the values of the government and the society very much change. Now, they like to give us this idea and this, fantasy that we actually have some control over it. But as we are realizing, thanks to the internet, the government really doesn't give stupid porn bots. Damn it. Thought
They
bot.
came
I was in the
because you
middle of a
started
really good point.
Talking
You
about
son
the
of
government.
bitches.
They showed up specifically to distract you.
I know.
I was going to say, and it
that's-
was right next to Calvin again. He's lucky.
I know.
Dodged the bullet this time, buddy.
Dodge, Calvin, dodge.
He goes, "Don't ban me" when it pops up in streamer. Sorry, I have the YouTube chat pull up.
Welcome back, Calvin.
It was right
for
next
now.
to him.
I know he was. Oh, that was great.
Tuck and roll, brother. Tuck and roll.
Tuck and roll. Tuck and roll.
The lady hath spoken.
I'm like, wait, no, they're still going. They're still going. Drake the Dillis. Hold on, wait. Come on, StreamYards, load so I can show it on. There we go. Oh.
There we go.
If you can
Good
dodge a
quote.
ban, you can dodge a ball.
There we go.
Drake wins quotes tonight.
Oh, the chat's going off. Wow.
Yes. This is the way, people.
I'm a little worried about what kind of protection he's going to be wearing, but you do you, buddy.
Ooh.
Oh my god. This is the wow. Oh god. Oh no. My love, no. I don't.
Get him.
I am going to be 100% honest with you. I do. Oh, Calvin, sir.
No, I see.
You asked. You asked.
I shouldn't
Yeah.
have. I shouldn't have.
Some things are better left
I and my wife follows up.
Well played.
Well, gentlemen, it took us 3 streams to go into debauchery. We're fucked from here.
You're welcome.
But I had an absolute blast with this conversation. I feel like I'm out of topics. The chat is descending into chaos.
We're coming up on 3 hours.
We are. Do you
And
guys?
I have been waiting those 3 hours ever since Rob first lit his cigar.
It's still
My
going.
brain has just been going, get one.
I can help you out there. It's actually
I would say you better not start now. You'd be up for
Rob,
another
would
2
you
hours.
private message me an online cigar shop? Because man, I haven't had a cigar in a while, and I've been I'm down. If you can private message me on Twitter a cigar shop that I can hit up, don't judge me.
No, I'm
sir.
laughing at chat. I'm reading chat.
Oh wait, what? Which one? Which one you want me to bring up?
I don't know if I really want to bring any of them up, but they're
It's well,
it's amusing.
yeah. Oh god. Hey, crazy. Read and review Rob's. Okay. Hold on.
Again.
Ladies and gentlemen, to bring you a very special message from A Drink with Crazy. He would like all of you out in the chat to know he's an absolute fucking scrub. The man who runs a YouTube channel and hopes to be successful talking on the internet doesn't quite know how to be, well, successful on the internet. It happens to be that he is an idiot and a poor. And when you combine those two things together, the idiot and the poor become, well, an amalgamation of each other, which then turn into absolute and utter chaos mixed with a little bit of debauchery while trying to, pull on semi-famous other YouTubers to make sure that his stream is, well, slightly better than what he can make it. So if you would like to know why he hasn't read or reviewed Rob's books, that is just a short explanation for why. And frankly, well, the guy's just kind of a dumbass, so I don't know why you're here anyway.
At the same time, you've got 4 kids. Kids are expensive.
I do. Well, I had to
In
put all of
terms
my
of
knowledge
money and
somewhere.
time.
Okay, I'm not going to continue that joke. I'm sorry. Because he's a poor. Wow, I'm getting roasted by my own chat. This is fucking great. Poor idiot. Wow.
This is when you know you've made it, though.
Yeah.
When your
I
chat roasters
honestly
you're
love
there.
getting roasted by the chat. It's fucking hilarious.
At the end of the day, it just means they're engaged.
Yep.
Oh, wait. Yeah. No, buddy. Okay, I do have to go to. I probably have to cut this because my boy is trying to go to bed and his room is literally right there. So he's been upstairs all night, and the lovely matriarch of the house is telling me to shut the fuck up. So, with that being said, we will start with
the fuck down.
shut it the fuck down. So with that being said, we will start our goodbyes for the evening with Rob Rhymes of Talking Pulp Press. Good sir. You are doing a fantastic job, and thank you so much for coming on. We will have you on again. So
I mean, this was a lot of fun. So it's the first one of these things I've ever done. So,
well, need to come back for another.
I don't understand my
you
wife.
Popped my cherry, Royce. You popped it so hard,
sir.
Luckily, I have a whole bowl.
There you go.
Oh God.
Dude, I've been G-rated
that bowl
as
of
fuck
cherries
on this
looks
thing, man.
like a slasher movie.
I've been G-rated as fuck on this thing. I'm trying not to get you demonetized. So
I know, thank you so much.
At 2.5 hours, it usually goes off the rails. So we're actually later.
Surprisingly, we held on for a little while after John Delarose completely.
Mm-hmm. I think it was because of that. He delayed the reaction.
I planted the seed. He planted the seed.
Mm-hmm.
So Rob Rhymes, where can we find you? Where can we find you? What are you working on? What are you doing? Tell me where I can shill your shit.
I mean, I sent you guys a bunch of links, so
and I posted all of those in the chat.
I'm moderately inebriated now, so
I am not.
So am I this time.
I am not. Yeah, because you guys drink whiskey. I am not close to moderately inebriated.
I mean,
And that's the
best-
difference between an alcoholic and a drunk, people.
The
What
best
do you
thing you can
expect
do
me to
is,
do? I'm fucking Irish.
I mean, like the best thing you can do is
Well,
just
if you're
follow
going
me
to learn
on
how to
Twitter.
talk like an
and-
Irishman, you better learn to do it right, little lad.
Well, it had to be hard over Rob.
I mean, the best thing you can do is just follow me on Twitter, and on Twitter I have my link tree as my link, and it has all the shit inside of that. But everything happening, you know, I update stuff through my Substack, but all that stuff gets posted to Twitter as I write it, so it's probably just the best place to just like keep tabs on stuff. So, and it's not just me on Twitter, man. We've got like a hell of a growing community there with you guys and
It's
just everybody else, and like.
tweet, it gets bigger.
The Wednesday marketing pushes that I do, man, just those things keep growing. I keep adding more people to my master list of people I tweet out.
Yes.
There's not been a single person that's been like, fuck you, stop promoting me. Like, no, it's I think
Even
everybody,
the big guys are shouting you out. Like, dude, thank you.
I mean,
The big guys are like, thank you for, which again,
the fact that they know who I am is just baffling to me. Like,
yeah.
You know, it's kind of fucking humbling too, and it also kind of like makes me, you know, it's motivating. You know, it makes me feel good, like I'm doing something that's at least like reaching those guys at that level too, to where they're taking notice of it. And you know, I mean, they probably don't need my help, but they're still appreciative of it. So
it's like, I mean,
you know, but they're also guys I think that see the bigger picture like we do, and it's something that's bigger
that's
than
what
just us here.
separates this
So,
from the other stuff that kind of goes on.
and that's the thing too, is it's you think, why are Richard and I getting mentioned on Razor Fist and Shadiversity and some of these other that, and Daniel's right, there's something happening here that is connecting the large creators with the small creators, and there's something in the air, man. There's something in the air.
Well, it's a sense of camaraderie. There's a lot less backbiting BS in the Iron Age than there is in many of the other
Comicsgate has a lot of it.
That was the thing I was kind of afraid to mention when Richard brought up 40K. I was like, 40K is its own universe of insanity. You can't compare it to anything else that goes on with reality. Those guys will gut you over their lore. They're not afraid to go after your throat. So it's totally different world. But with us in the Iron Age movement, we're all like, yeah, let's fucking go together.
And one of the things that I've tried to do, and I don't know if you guys have, I'm not the type I don't believe that anything is perfect. And if something jumps out at me, I'll talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
But and one of the things that I've had to do is realize, like, that's why I don't do like a rating system. Like, oh, is it a 1 star out of 10 stars or is it an 8 point? But no, my rating system. It's simple: buy, not buy. Or if I already bought it, was it worth the money? Was it not worth the money? That's it. That's it. It's a yes or a no. And that's the best way, because the problem is with a lot of newer creators, I can't hold some of these guys up to J.R.R. Tolkien. That's not fair. Because if that guy's like a 10 and I have to rate some of these newer creators, it's not fair. At some point, I will become disingenuous about it. And so it's, do I like the money that I spent? Do I not like the money that I spent? And if I like, you know, let's go back to our boy here who was on tonight, Brian Asher. Mm-hmm. I like the money that I spent. I'm going to rebuy this one so I have one that doesn't have my puppy's teeth marks in it.
Right? That's character.
Yeah, and I read his first book. I haven't read the second one yet, and like I liked it a lot, man. And I told him I reviewed it on Amazon, and
dude, I'm at the point where the threads are starting to come together. The way that he did that, the subtle way that he started bringing the threads together, because he doesn't get into that until like 3/4 of the way through the book. Mm-hmm. He does a really good job with that. Yeah. The writing in the beginning was a little rough, for sure. But as it started to go on, he really started to tighten it up. I mean, but again, You know, it's like with Isom. I didn't give Isom a glowing review. I've said flat out, I like what Isom did. I don't like how they got there. I don't like the route that they took to get there. I like the destination, but I like the start point and the destination, but the stuff in between was really rough for me. You know, Shad's book, really good. The way that the main character interacts with the magic system, it was too quick. It didn't have enough buildup. But would I buy or would I not buy? It's that simple.
Yeah.
And that's the best way that I can go about this to support people.
Well, I hope when you read Dan the Destructor, you want to read the other books. So, because I think they actually, each one gets kind of better. I think the third one, which is more or less a prequel, but you shouldn't read it first. I think it's one of the best things I've ever written in that book. So I'm not going to say what it is. I'll see what, there's 6 different short stories. So the people I know that have read it, I'm gauging like, hey, what did you like the best? And
sir, I will review it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. When I do review videos and when I do review things that people have asked me to read, I go about the process was as fair and direct as possible while being positive, even in criticism, because it may be hard to take for some, but criticism is the pointing out of flaws. It's a way to refine your craft. And I think all of us that do write things that go anywhere, if you're keeping it in your room and never showing it to anybody, fine, you can write however you want. But any of us that put anything out in public, be it on websites or in published format, need to know these things, because those are the points that you should spend your time growing stronger in order to make an overall better book every single book you put out. And like Rob said, one of the best stories he wrote in the third one. That's how it works. Every progressive book you write is better than the last. But we don't know that without your feedback from the readers. So as Rob said,
and in all honesty too, man, that's the feedback is really it's harder. You write a book, it's hard enough to get people to see it and then eventually buy it. It's even harder, man, to get feedback and to get reviews and like that's the stuff that helps the most.
Like hated it. F you.
Yeah. But at the same time, like if someone comes out and it's completely negative, but there's nothing constructive in there for me to take away from it, I kind of just it's just it is what it is.
Yeah.
like help me.
But it would be nice to know why they hated it.
Yeah.
Well, and it's one of the cool things about discovering what's going on with the YouTube channel. I know the chat's going fucking crazy. I know there's the amount of shit but
for the record, that's my former roommate.
Oh,
okay.
Okay, there's some inside baseball.
I figured
might add a little more context,
but
that might add a little more context.
So we had Rob say, I'll just say this. That's one thing about doing the YouTube thing is that's why I lean so heavily into the Iron Age stuff, is because I might get a lot of comments on other videos, but I don't get feedback on other videos. I get a lot of, I really like this video.
Yeah.
But the feedback when people come in and they go, keep doing this. Mm-hmm. There might not be as many comments, but there are a multitude more comments of saying, keep doing this versus just, hey, I'm commenting on your opinion that you made. Mm-hmm. Okay. I'm going to lean into this kind of. All right. So Rob, you had a chance to say goodbye. You're smoking a cigar. Dude, send me a website, please. God, I want one so bad.
Yeah.
So
staring longingly at it.
Oh my God.
DM me tomorrow.
All right.
I might forget.
I think I will go cattywampus now. Richard from Iron Age Media. Good sir. What do you have to shill? What do you have to say goodnight to the people with?
Well, as always, the number one thing is ironage.media. That's the website that I've been building and growing and, trying to expand. And I feel like, if I look back at what it was a month ago, that made some pretty good progress, and I'm going to try to keep moving in that direction with more content more frequently from even more people. And as always, if you are working on something or you have something that you love that is indie or at least fairly small and is new IP, then I'd love to hear about it. And please reach out to me. I also just this week, or actually just today, put out the first video on the YouTube channel.
Do I have a link for that I can
Probably
share?
not. I'm not even sure what because I don't have like an actual name. It's some kind of jumble of numbers, still.
Yep.
So I'll send you a link, but don't worry about it.
I subscribe to it.
Thank you.
You're
That's
such
very
a terrible.
generous.
I didn't even know you did that.
I saw it pop up on
it's okay.
Twitter.
Yeah, I tweeted about it. That's it. And I put it on locals. I also have a locals. I'll be working on that.
Yeah.
So we'll some more. There'll be more content coming in various places, but I'm just going to keep scaling. So keep your eyes peeled for new things there. And just like I said, reach out if you got something and let me know about it. I'm only one guy, but trying to keep up and keep moving as quick as I can. Thank you, TJ.
Hey, TJ.
Greatly appreciated. Yeah, thank you. Well, Mr. Pridely Whiplash down there.
No, Lord of the Eyebrows.
Lord of the Eyebrows, Pridely Whiplash.
I'm
Pridely
never gonna let
Lord
you
of the
forget
Eyebrows,
that.
Whiplash.
Yeah. The Whiplash, Lord of the Whiplash Eyebrows.
Dude, that's perfect. Yeah. Yeah. We need to grow out
I was
the like
about
long,
to
flowing
do it.
white.
You son of a bitch! I was about to do it. I was right there. So, Mr. Daniel P.
clip.
Riley, what are you doing this week? What you got coming up? What are you focusing on?
Oh, I'm
How do
focusing
you say
on
goodbye to the people?
the Tales of Halcyon Reforge, like I tweeted about earlier. I've been going through each chapter, applying what I know now to what I wrote back then to make the story that little bit better, while I have a couple of artists working on some pretty pictures for me to put it together. King of the Nerds.
I am not even close. I wish I could be. I'm not even close.
We'll get there.
Like I said at the beginning of the stream, my Gumroad link
Hey, what,
to Legacy of
sir?
Heroes.
Sir, hold the book up again. Do
No.
it slower.
Fine.
Make the shill attaboy.
Give it to me.
There we go. I was gonna say.
Uh-huh.
Make
The
sure it's not
Gumroad
reflecting.
link.
There you go.
For the stream tonight,
There you go.
promo code Iron Age
Wait,
gets you.
I was gonna say, and here's another
$1.99.
fine work from Mr. Whiplash.
Yes,
Eyebrow
that one's
whiplash.
actually
Whiplash
that one is
eyebrow.
more on par with what
And
Rob's
these.
done than
You got these.
There we go.
Legacy
Good job.
Heroes is.
I
Now that's some
love the
skill.
simplistic colors.
Yep. That is some skill.
Holy shit! I
You know who
love
my
that.
Yeah, the
Cover
style.
artist
I
is?
really like the style of these a lot. They
Ooh.
pop.
You know who my cover artist is?
Who?
Me.
Yeah, there we
Oh.
go.
Oh,
Because artists flake out on me, I said, "Fuck it, I'm
Yes.
doing my own covers."
Simple is good, man.
Give them here, Doc.
peasants! Do you know who did my drawings? Who? Me, you silly peasants! What the fuck are you talking about?
I was gonna
Hire
do
one
my
of
own
you
maps.
to do my drawings.
I was gonna do my own maps too, but I was like, "Man, this shit's hard."
Yeah.
Yeah, that is
No, I get it.
difficult.
You know, go back and be peasants. I'll do all my own work. I can't trust any of you.
One more
Forward.
thing. The shirt was actually designed by an indie creator, goes by Duality of Han on Twitter. It's my favorite shirt.
Interesting.
Just say you got to embiggen him here. Hold on here.
Wait,
We are not
in
seeing-
big
Speaking
in,
of
sir.
which, I
I
have
like
shirts available.
Very nice.
Oh.
Yes, and
Ooh.
talkingpulp.com. Or wait, what was it? I like
Sir, I want that on a placard that I can hang behind me. Oh, yeah.
I can reach out and see if she can put something together for you.
Yeah, so I have the 4 rules of gun safety back here, obviously, because everybody who is responsible with firearms should have the 4 rules of gun safety on their wall. If you are responsible with firearms and you are a parent, you should absolutely have a poster of the 4 rules of gun safety, and your children should recite it after the Pledge of Allegiance every day.
True.
I am not even screwing with you on that one.
And that's actually one thing I totally forgot to talk to Chris Cooksey about last when we sat down with him, was in the Quantum Terror. The actor who played the cop had great trigger discipline. The actor who played the lead girl, horrible trigger discipline.
That's actually authentic there. That made sense to me.
Actually,
Yeah.
that could make sense. Actually, that
It did.
could.
It was
but
it was a really cool detail that I totally forgot to say on the stream.
he really focused on a lot of detail in that. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna do this fun little thing where I play the outro and everybody else sits here and we bullshit for a minute while the outro goes, because apparently it's really fun. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for checking out A Drink with Crazy. I look forward to seeing all of you next time right here. Don't forget to check us out next Friday on Iron Age Nights, where we have props.
Good night, everybody.
Good night,
Have a good one.
everybody. Here we go. Gentlemen, they can still hear us. But that was a great stream. Thank you guys so much, man.
Yeah, no
Thanks
Yeah, had a
you
great
all
time.
for watching.
Yeah, thank you guys so much, man. This is great. I love it. This is growing into something bigger than I thought it was going to.
It's amazing. Everything that we get to do on these Friday nights is amazing.
It's fantastic, man. It's just the good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night, man.
And try not to
Good
get
night.
banned next time, okay?
Yeah, don't get banned. Well,
Yeah,
that's
that
what
was
happens
your
when you
fault,
hang out
buddy.
next to Thoughtbots. If you
Yeah,
hang out by
exactly.
Thoughtbots, I will ban you.
Dodge the bots.
Dodge the bots. I felt so bad about that. I was like, no. Oh man, that was a terrible thing to happen.
Yeah, but everything's right in the world again.
It's okay. Yeah. No, it's fine. It's fine. As long as they keep, just as long as he doesn't have like that thought stank on him,
Oh,
Like, thought stank is bad. Get rid of that. Oh.
that does not need to be the last thing that anybody hears on this show.
Why not? That's fine.
Find out next week if I get banned. Yeah, stay tuned. It'll be a
Drink with
cliffhanger.
Crazy, where we talk about
Who will
bots.
get banned by
We
accident
should do it.
Tune
We
in
should
to
do it
find out.
last time on Iron Age Nights.
I mean, that should be the
Calvin
meme. He
touched
should,
a
just,
thought bot and got banned for it.
he should just get banned and unbanned every week. That should be the meme.
There you go, man. Man. That was a pain in my ass. I don't want to do that again.
Dark Side
All right.
Boys. Good night, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, good night.
Good night.
Peace out.